Hey guys, we'll get started in just a minute. AR, why don't you try talking?
Okay, so yeah, there was this random tub of toys that at the daycare, and just random assorted crap, and suddenly there was an Omegamon toy there that was missing an arm. I was like, how did that get there?
Hmm.
Talk a little bit more. I'm just checking something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and
Talk about your son more.
so yeah, one morning, Lucas randomly woke up at like 6:30, which is way before he's supposed to be getting up, and he walked into our room, poked me on the arm, and said, "Daddy, I can't find my Digimon partner."
Oh.
May, May,
I'm like,
May, why don't you try
okay.
talking for a minute?
AR is making me want children, which is not good.
No, that's not an advertisement for having children. It's just the
No,
kind of
it's
the
not.
bonus. It's like the bonus side effect of it.
I can't even live with my dog because I live in an apartment. I can't imagine having a child.
You guys ready to get 30 seconds of silence? Starting now. Okay, that's good. And did someone just fall off a chair?
No,
No.
I was adjusting something. To save bytes on my computer. I'm running the chat off my phone instead this time.
Okay. Okay, you guys ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Thrill Podcast. We're here to entertain and inform while talking about Digimon a bit. I'm Mark, I run with the will.
I'm Air Pulver, Digimon System Restore, which is actually running again.
May?
Oh yes, my turn. I'm
I,
May.
I, I,
Likewise.
I,
I can
found,
talk about my stuff more if you
I,
want.
I,
Yeah,
I,
I was like, oh, hey, AR's writing something. He's gonna like talk about the thing. He's gonna talk about the writing for Neverwell, I think it's called.
this
Well,
is
no, I'll talk about that at the end, but I was going to talk about
this is
System
this is
Restore being
this
back up, but this
this
was an introduction.
yes, this is why
Yeah,
people
that's
this is
fair.
why people listen to us, the professionalism.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, so yeah, I'm May from Lost in Translationmon. Likewise, the blog is also back up and running. I don't think it was at the time of the last podcast. It's been so long, and yeah, that's me. It's early. It's just 7 o'clock. So sorry.
Yeah. And the best part, of course, is whenever there's the time change, it involves me and May having at least half a dozen conversations trying to figure out we actually know what the times are in each other's areas, even though it
Yeah,
seems to
like
be exactly the same every year.
Have you
yeah, like
had
every couple of days we'll go like, oh, so it's so and so time right now. What time
yeah?
is it for you?
Well,
It should be this time.
May have you had your time change of the
Uh,
fall yet?
yeah, a couple
Yeah.
weeks
Okay.
before you, I think.
Okay. That's what really can throw you off, is because everyone's daylight savings is a
Yeah.
different weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I sort of I checked and then Mark checked, and I think we've just gone back and forth checking the time just because like I don't want me to be like in bed at 6 o'clock in the morning and you guys starting and saying, hey, where's May?
Yeah.
Or
Well,
like the
because
opposite me being super early.
you spring forward, and then 2 weeks later we fall back.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that, because it's our spring. It's our spring
Yeah.
at the moment, so it's yeah. It gets dark at 9 o'clock at night now.
It's a nice 35 degrees here, so it feels like springtime right now compared to what we have been getting.
Yeah, well, we had really hot weather and then we had really cold weather, and I had heat stroke when it was hot. So I'm appreciating the cold weather, but I just wish it would make up its mind. But it's not normal spring.
Before we properly catch up, there's two oddities with this one we should go over. The first is there were issues with the title cards, so because I'm me, I did them all in like 2 hours yesterday. So I played around. I played around with the font a little bit and did a few things a bit different just to see how it would look, since I had to do them quickly anyways. And the second one is this was not when this episode was supposed to be originally, because originally this was going to be me and May in October.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened there was at first me and May, our schedules didn't sync up. It was like, Well, we'll wait until after that month's V Jump because I think the episode is going to be like on the 18th, and that's just a little bit too in the middle of when stuff could pop up.
Yeah.
Or yeah,
Yeah. And
and,
I've had since our last podcast, I've had exactly 2 free Saturdays. This is my second
yeah,
free Saturday.
and
And I
that
only have
yeah,
I only have 2 more between now and the end of the year. 3 weddings in 7 weeks. That shouldn't be happening in the
Jesus.
fall.
yeah. And then to have everything line up, it was going to be me and May. It was either going to be October 26th or November 2nd. And then we started getting news thrown at us. I was like, we should see when AR is going to be around. AR wasn't going to be around until now. May wasn't around last week.
Yeah.
So it's been a bit, but that's because they started chucking news at us that made more sense to have everyone around at the same time.
Well, that's okay. I'll be respectfully silent while you talk about the X3 stuff.
No, you won't. You'll be going, yeah.
Yeah, I see. That's a Digimon. Yep.
Yep.
At least we can talk about Caramon X, because Caramon X is the best ever.
Yeah.
Oh, I disagree. It's Monzaimon X, but we'll get into that.
Oh yeah, shit! I forgot about Monzaimon X. No, never mind. Fuck Caramon X.
Let's
Friendship ended with Caramon X.
Let's go ahead
X.
and get into the news rather than ranting about it before we even start, shall we?
I mean, we could just continue ranting about it and you just change the slide. It's really what we do anyway, yeah.
So they finally announced the Digimon X3, which I believe they had only teased it when we did the last episode, didn't they, AR? I think they had teased at that point.
We knew about it was happening.
Yeah. So, and am I wrong, or did very few people seem to think that the packaging would be Gankumon and Examon, which seems kind of obvious when you consider they were the only ones who didn't have X forms that were likely to show up.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not. Maybe they weren't expecting them to be the cover ones, but we kind of knew they'd show up.
Yeah. But
I just love the Death Stranding fucking looking X3 because it just reminds me of that. I'm not sure if America got it, but the Death Stranding controller they released along with Death Stranding and
I think we got it, but
it's just the same piss yellow.
I do have to say though, I like how they went with the candy colors again. And no, come on, that yellow looks great.
Yeah. I'm not saying it doesn't. It just reminds me of Death Stranding. I love the blue one. I mean, I've got them both on pre-order, but like the blue one is my favorite just because of how it looks.
Then we have they showed off the lineup again right as they did it, which was nice.
Well, I mean, in general, this whole thing seemed very fast, right? Like that they announced the X3, it seems very like for some reason it just seemed early because the X2 hasn't even come out yet.
Well, I'm wondering if the X2 did decently and they decided we need to get this out before people decide they don't like it. Because it really feels like they're throwing it out there.
Yeah, like with the pendulum, that was a good. Well, like what the first Pendulum V20th came out in March or April, and then the following one came out in December.
I don't think we had. I think we had pre-orders for the second wave before the first wave was out. But this is technically a brand new thing. This isn't like the second wave of Pendulums was the same minus a couple of Digimon.
Yeah, I'm just saying I'm surprised that it's sort of it seems it's coming out a lot faster than other VPads, but I might be wrong.
You're not wrong on that. Gee, who do you think the two mystery ultimates are?
Omegamon and Omegamon.
No, my personal favorite is right above them. You can clearly see the two that are only there because they've been in games. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
And then we have the Stage 3 Ultimates, which upset a number of people who had just been calling Stage 2 Super Ultimate.
Super duper ultimate.
Yeah.
Super ultra ultimate.
Yeah, so we'll see who... It feels like that's going to be probably... I'm not sure it's going to be Armageddon because we have some Diablomon stuff to talk about. But it feels like they want us to think it's one good guy and one bad guy, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense.
Yeah. So the price they kept the same, which 3,850 yen, which isn't bad, and they ship in March. There's about 2 weeks left to pre-order for anyone who wants to get them. I like how Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just wondering if I mean, my X2 hasn't arrived yet, so I'm not sure if they fixed it with the X2, but I really hope that they fucking fix the fucking issue with the battery. Like, how the screen, it just, for some reason, just drains the fuck out of the battery. Humalos, I believe, replaced the screen with a V20th, and that fixed it. The
I
battery length. But
assume
I'm just
there's
really hoping.
there's probably a small short somewhere that's causing a battery drain.
I think it's to do with the contrast, because the contrast is just it's different. Like it's like darker, and it just.
Yeah,
I mean,
we'll
that's my belief anyway. But I really hope that they fucking fix it, because that battery life is just like 3 days, and it's
you
not
know, I
good.
just thought of something stupid regarding V-Pets. If they keep doing them, don't you think an e-ink screen would work pretty well for this?
I'm just waiting for one you can charge with like a micro USB or something.
Yeah.
I don't really see them including batteries, especially when they're doing. I mean, the Monster X series has been oddly affordable. I just don't see them going to the effort.
Yeah, well, maybe not for the next or next.
Ooh, you're breaking up, May.
I'll check.
Okay, you're back.
Yeah, I'll just check Steam, because my internet's not too good, so I'm just closing Steam. And
Okay.
I'll close a couple of other things and see if that
Yeah, and they also started am I wrong, or did U.S. pre-orders take a while to open this time? Because it felt like people were like, it was like a good month or so, I want to say, this time, which seemed a bit odd. And we also got the preview video where we also got to see the early art of Gankuma. The early art of Examon people seem to really want to talk about. Someone clapping?
No, that was just me closing and opening my phone, because I was just taking my phone
Okay.
off the Wi-Fi just to make sure it don't have any internet problems.
So May, did you order both of these?
Yeah, of course. I always order both of them.
Yeah. What did you think of the early art of Gankumon and Examon?
I haven't actually looked at much of the art except for
Oh,
the ones that show up on Twitter, like
So you
Ultimon.
did you miss the Examon one where it looks like he's riding in his old body?
Yeah, I did miss that one. Hang on. I'll see if I can.
I can't find that one right now.
Here, I'll just link both of you guys.
Yeah, I found it. Oh no, I just linked it.
It's almost like he's connecting and riding his old body. It's very odd looking, and I kind of like it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, it looks like it looks like a mech, like you know
Yeah,
how sometimes
that's
when
what
they get the mech attachments.
Yeah, that's what everyone's
It's a
been
fucking
saying.
Zoid.
And they're still teasing that miracle thing, but not telling us what it is. Where they just keep going, wink, wink. There's something else we're not telling you. Wink, wink. Anyone care to guess what that is?
Another Omegamon miracle mode.
See, it feels like most of the guesses have been Paladin Mode X, to be honest.
Oh yeah, no, I can see that. That's also connected with Omegamon.
Yeah. Well, but that's also connected with the story of the Royal Knights, and it's been so heavy.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what I expect, but it's a good guess.
What if it's Yggdrasil, like in Digimon form?
Yeah. I'm just going with ugh.
Yggdrasil tied to the Royal Knights? How dare they?
Yeah, that's a new and wacky thing to come up with.
Man, how do they keep coming up with these fresh ideas?
And now we get to talk. And now, all the new Digimon they've been introducing for it. I mean, everyone. There's Terriermon and Lopmon X, which everyone seemed to like.
Yeah.
Wizardmon X, everyone liked. Angelmon X, a lot of people seem confused by, to be honest.
Just wings.
The Ciesamon X, everyone liked. Justamon X, everyone seemed to love. Especially.
Yeah, those got random introductions.
Justamon X is weird in that they've gotten rid of the sort of not really mode change he had and just given him all 3 limbs. So he looks kind of weird. Then there was Ophanimon X and Trubamon X Virtue, and both of those, I don't know why everyone fucking loves the floating unicycle thing for Ophanimon.
Because it's funny.
Because.
Yeah. And Cherubimon looks, Cherubimon I just think kind of looks great. Just the design works well for me. Like
you can only be so pointy with Cherubimon.
Yeah. Rise Greymon X, everyone loved, but a lot of people were upset that he had the Crest of Courage.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
That's a huh.
That upset that a lot of people seem upset by that. Now, okay, now
Who
I
would you
want
be upset by that?
because
I mean,
that
it's not the first time we've seen a crest on a Digimon
No, I
that's
know.
not necessarily related to that
No,
crest. Like,
okay. Now,
doesn't Nightmon have
it's
it
a
as well?
Greymon.
yeah. Now
What was
let's.
that?
Sorry, go ahead.
Who are you asking about?
May.
Oh,
Nightmon.
Nightmon.
I'm pretty sure it
Nightmon.
has like I can't remember.
He's got
Someone has a
something,
crest on it.
yeah.
He has
I'm pretty sure
the crest of
courage or
hope. I
I
think.
can't remember.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say Hope would
Yeah.
be, yeah.
Okay,
Hope
But
sounds
he's
now-
not like an armor evolution. He's just a dude.
Yeah. Now let's talk about the one that I find the most visually interesting, which is Omega Shotmon X. This one I find interesting because doesn't it kind of look more like a classic Digimon, like stylistically for some reason?
Yeah.
Like something about the shading, the shape, it just looks very old. Like it looks new, but it feels old style for some reason.
Yeah, I see what you
it's like
mean.
there's some sleek ones in here. It's
Yeah.
yeah, there's some interesting options. Like it's hard to describe X forms as sleek, but there are some very
Yeah.
sleek forms in here, like Omega Shoutmon and Pegasusmon as
Yeah.
well.
Now, I think we had seen Hoomon X in the last episode, but we didn't have better quality art. Is that right, AR? I think
Maybe.
I think she had shown up. This design, like, the more I look at it, the weirder it seems to me.
Yeah, it's very.
It
doesn't.
it feels like there's 3 or 4 different Digimon that have been combined to make this design.
It feels like they're kind of straying away from the traditional concept that Hoemon originated from, and they're leading more into the Phoenix.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of sort of the same thing, but they're not. They're different creatures with
just
different
looks
origins, and they're kind of leaning more into the Phoenix mythology.
For some reason, for me, it just feels like yeah, I get the whole merging of different Digimon, but it also seems like
Merging
it's
of
got like
different
parts that have been almost broken in a
No,
way.
no,
that
no,
looks like,
no,
there's
that's-
a gore,
like,
it's got stuff
no,
coming out of it.
When did Mekumon's line get attached to this? There's all these helixes flying around.
No. That's
Yeah,
actually.
or it looks like
May.
you know
That's-
Griffamon.
Yeah.
It looks
Maybe,
like
yeah.
Griffamon.
Yeah.
That's what I actually meant, May, was that it feels like they were designing 3 or 4 different characters and they sort of shoved elements all together.
Yeah, like a Chimeramon.
Yeah.
But yeah, the head just looks like it's fucking floating out of nowhere, and
Yeah, the head looks like it belongs to someone else.
it's
yeah.
disembodied.
Yeah. How fun is Rapidmon X? I just liked it. It's such a weird and different design than the normal one, and I kind of love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do kind of wish he had
This
hands
is-
though.
Yeah, he is a pointy.
And it's weird because we
Well, I
don't.
think they're all pointy.
Well, no, they're not all
Oh.
pointy. That's what's interesting about some of
Oh,
these.
I guess Trubimon, yeah, it's not.
And the other-
Surubimon's not pointy. Monsemon's not pointy. They have some very not pointy X forms.
Policiomon, yeah.
And
yeah,
the other
Policiomon.
and the other interesting thing is we don't often have the armored version of Rapidmon being the one used anymore.
Yeah, that's sad.
So it's just interesting that was the one they went with. And now we get to talk about AR's favorite.
Everyone's favorite.
AR's
Monzemon.
favorite.
Monsemon.
Monzemon I like more without the weirdly creepy goo.
I kind of like the weird.
Oh, no, I like it.
I like the creepy goo.
I like
The
it, but
creepy-
it is a
the
very
creepy
good
goo is very
contrast.
X. It really screams X form for me, because if you can't make him pointy, at least give him something darkish.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah,
it's
The creepy goo, the goo halo. Like, yes.
yeah, the gel
It
is
looks more like a Persona enemy than a Digimon, though. For some reason, I think it's just because it sort of it sticks out of the X evolutions. Like, it doesn't really look like the other X evolutions, if that makes sense. It doesn't have like random like bits of metal pointing out of his dick or anything. But like,
That's the best description for X forms I've ever
yeah,
heard.
but like the old joke
Pointy
was
stuff out of their dicks.
yeah. Well, the old thing about Digimon was it was like, oh, grab an animal and strap metal to it. This X evolution just like strap random things that are pointy.
Mhm.
Or like make it look like it's got a thong on his face or something. But like, I like Monzemon, but for some reason he just strikes me as if that was in the next Persona game, I'd be like, yep, sounds good. All right, that's a Persona.
Yeah, that's a Persona boss.
Yeah, like I love him.
Like, if he shows up in a boss battle, it'll be the best boss battle ever.
Yeah. So like they're meant to look like Evangelion or something, like a fucking Cyberdramon, but like I love Monzemon, but it
We need a
him and
petition. We need a
Jugimon.
petition to put Mansaimon X in what's the new one? The Shuffle or whatever the Persona game coming out.
Oh, Royal.
No, the other one. The
I
action
think he's
one
talking
coming
about
out.
the battle game.
Yeah, the battle one. I forgot what
Oh.
it's called. It's an S something, but
Yeah.
Persona 5S.
And
but
now-
that one needs to have Mansaimon X in
No,
it.
they're
And
just going to
now-
re-release Persona 4 again.
We can talk about the most X of any X Digimon that ever existed, which is Pegasmon X. When you look at Pegasmon X, isn't it just exactly what you expect an X Digimon to be?
Yeah, I love him.
There's a lot of pointy things. There's some
Mhm.
there's some floating hair. There's some green gems, and there's more hair instead of a tail. I mean, it is a tail, but it's not really drawn like a tail.
Is it
Mhm.
because I've played like 20 hours of Pokemon in the past like 2 days? But does he look like a Pokemon to you?
He looks like a really shiny, like a gold Porygon or something.
Yeah,
Like just with it's so angular like that.
And instead of the
Yeah.
wings, he has the Vernier boosters, which again feels very X'd Digimon to me.
Yeah,
Of course,
yeah, very much
yes.
so. Yeah, it's like, oh, what's your favorite mech anime? All right, let's combine that with a Digimon. There you go.
Examon.
It's a Code Geass. It's a Nightmare Frame. That's what they're called.
Yep. There you go.
I had to dig into my fucking like anime past to fucking pull that one out.
Examon X.
It's sad that we're at the point where you have to dig to get something out of Code Geass.
Yeah, I'm just like, what were they called? All I can think of is Callan's ass. I know who was called the Gurren. But like, yeah, Nightmare Frame. It just needs the rollerblades.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Kendo Gurumon X would be.
There you go.
Yeah, there we are. I got there. I pulled out all the anime. The ghost of anime past was pulling at that one. Like
this is the content everyone's here for.
Yep, the professionalism. What other anime can they talk about? All of them. I think we killed Mark.
Oh no, I was just letting you guys go because it's gonna be fun.
Please don't let us go. We'll
go.
No,
don't let us go. We're gonna be here for 4 hours. Also, the game is Persona 5 Scramble.
No, see that's why I was letting you guys go, because I was letting you go to see when you would realize what you were doing. Because then when we're here for 3 hours and you guys are asking me to make sure you guys stop, I wanted to see if you'd realize it earlier this time.
You're a cruel boss, Mark.
I know. So then we have Examon X, which seems to be the one everyone seems to like arguing about whether they like the design or not more than the others. Because this one feels very much different, which I don't know if that works or doesn't.
I prefer him because he looks more like a fucking knight. Because regular Examon is just like, okay, that's just a dragon, whatever.
Yeah,
this one fits. This one's good. It's a little dumb looking.
Yeah, it does.
It
does have this weird, like, goofy look to it, doesn't it?
It's the mouth.
You go from being giant dragon to he's trying so hard. We're gonna let him into the knights anyway.
And we're gonna give him the weird dual-bladed lightsaber.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. And
Navi above his head, apparently.
Hey, Craniumon has the big giant double lance, so he can have the big giant double lightsaber.
And then we have Karamon X.
I don't know why I like this. I think it's just because it's it's creepy.
Yeah, I
think it should be.
So here's the weird thing for me. When we first saw the original art for him, when it was lower resolution, I'm like, wow, the face is really weird and creepy and it works. It wasn't until I saw the description that I started to see how the face was done.
Mm-hmm.
Where they talk about how he began to split, but only in the face.
Yeah, it's horrifying.
And that made me look at the face more directly, and I'm like, oh wow, there are 3 different faces there.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, even seeing it with 6 eyes before, that didn't click. It just looked like some weird hell thing.
Yeah, as I said, it looks like a thong, right? I'm using American terminology.
It does look like a thong when you look at it from the right angle.
Are you guys proud of me? I used American terminology for you.
I'm kind of curious. What do you call it? I'm terrified.
We call it a G-string because a thong's something you put on your feet.
No, we use that too, actually.
Okay, well, yeah, it's not something you put on your feet. It's the underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is just a weird, it's one of those weird designs that when you look at it, it doesn't become more normal, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's like Gotramon when I was a kid.
it's a cool concept, and it's like I think they could have like something this hideous could be used for something way more high profile than the X3.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he could be related
See,
to the
AR, don't
what's the
AR,
one in the Tamers movie?
AR, don't give them ideas
Huh?
for new adventure movies.
Revenge of Diaboromon again.
This might end up in my fanfic, to be honest.
I love it.
Ideas.
Then moving on from the new Digimon, we get Chronicle X, which here's the weird thing about this. They've updated it more since our last episode than they did since they began the damn thing.
I love it.
Yeah,
I
I caught up on it like an hour ago. And
we're not going to go over all of these, and we do recommend you guys do, because it gets like this is where it starts to make me wonder what the plan for the Monster X's were, because it kind of feels like they've shoved 2 or 3 together for the last batch of stories.
Are they gonna like release like a physical copy of like the whole story once it's done?
The
Or...
comic version will be in what we talk about next, but no, it doesn't look like they're doing
is
a
it?
full
Oh,
version.
cool. Because
okay.
I have the next thing on pre-order.
Yeah,
so it comes out somewhere, because they try. I mean, it's half of it's they're trying really hard to introduce all the new X forms, and then the other half is just bold fan service pops.
Yeah,
like let's have Koda and Yuji show up.
Yeah.
Also,
it's really
Digimon. Digimon loves the fan service pops. Why do you think we get an Omegamon every 3 months?
It's really bold of them to think that everyone would pop for Koda and Yuji reappearing.
But we
and I think
did.
And we did. They're not wrong.
Like,
yeah,
it's like, hey, who remembers Koda and Yuji from the original Chronicle? They're back now.
Well, the fun part is it was
they say they only care about it, and we say they only care about adventure. See, there's new Chronicle content.
Well, they do. You can see
Digimon is surprising.
You can see right there in the title card. It's slightly different Taichi and Yamato with silver hair.
That's Neo. Come on.
Yeah, it's Neo.
So moving on, we have the new art book, which it feels like everyone was waiting for it, but I feel like there was no real expectation it was gonna pop up on the first day again. And God, I love that cover so much. It just because the last 2 we didn't get new art. There was the first one was Tyrannomon and the second one was Holy Angemon. This one's actually new artwork.
Well, that makes sense if you think about it, because the Pendulum and the Digital Monster they weren't new, so why would they get new art? But the X, it is new. It should have new art.
But the thing is the actual front cover is Alphamon and Dukemon X, who are not exactly new.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know.
I know.
I'm a big fan.
I know. I like the cover. Of course, the cover sort of maybe gave away more than they probably should have, because it gave us an idea of where the story was going when we can clearly see Diablomon holding a Lucimon sword.
Oh yeah.
And that's what the last chapter that we saw happened. Yeah.
It's impossible to make that connection unless like you read it. Like it's a spoiler in hindsight, right?
No. Everyone's once that cover was out, everyone saw the sword and went, "Okay, I know it's going," because the swords have shown up. The swords, was it Ogudamon who had it? Someone did have Demon Lord sword. They've shown up before, I believe. So it gave everyone an idea what was going on. The only question was, where were the other 6? And now we know.
Yeah.
Although I will say, I still love the grin Diablomon X has. Like, on that cover, it works so well as the crazy villain.
Yeah, I love Diaboromon. I love Diaboromon X. I really just like Diaboromon, and I like Diaboromon. He's my friend.
Also, I will say, Omegamon X is not doing anything that makes sense on that cover.
He's striking a pose. Let him
No, but that's what I mean. Like, Alphamon is charging. Dukemon looks like he's about to charge. Omegamon is shooting in the wrong direction, posing with his cape and sword.
Yeah, well, why not? Like, hey, squad, to make a pose. Some people are actually making like an involved pose, and some guy's just like, aren't I pretty?
And that's why he needs to make the pose, because it will get people to buy the art book.
Yeah. Yep. I know what he's doing. He's actually hiding another version of Omegamon behind his cape.
No, Omegamon.
It's Omegamon.
Yeah, Omegamon X, yeah.
Yes.
Omegamon is the power to beat defeating Diablomon X.
Or like
Calling it
Chibi
now.
Omegamon or something, because we've
Yep.
had a couple of Chibi Digimon, so it's Chibi Omegamon.
It's the NX form.
Yeah, it's the NX.
Yeah, and for about $45, plenty of people are gonna buy it. Pre-orders close in about 2 weeks.
I'm excited.
Yeah, and then we get a few different events to go over just quickly.
Sorry, can we just go back to the art book just quickly?
Sure, go ahead.
Because it's out, or well, it's coming out. Like that almost makes me feel like there won't be an X4.
They've said there won't be.
There won't. Oh, what did they do?
No.
Oh, well, I have the attention span of a gnat.
They've specifically said the X3 is the end of the X series. Period.
I'm kind of sad.
Now that doesn't mean there's not going to be. I wouldn't
There
be
might be a new
X2.
series.
No,
X2
yeah,
too.
but that's what I mean. Or I wouldn't be shocked if they went, oh, here's an X gold and silver, and it's all of the X's combined. But this is the end of what they've been doing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and then they'll come out with the Z series next.
Yes.
I hope they do another new one. Like as much as I like the reboot ones, I just want a new one. Like it's fun.
Look,
I like
in
it's a new thing. Like, ooh.
Instead of the X antibody where they're all pointy, the Z antibody is when they're all on fire.
In 2 or 3 years, we'll get Digital Monster X Last Evolution, and we'll be debating this again.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
or the version 20 years after the DMX, when fucking we're all, how old will we be? Too old in 20 years.
Coda shows up as a 30-year-old burnout.
To be fair, he hasn't really aged that much, even in what we've seen.
No, which is sad.
I mean, he hasn't been doing anything, so he's just been sitting and waiting very patiently.
No, hey, show some respect to the story. He's been traveling and doing whatever random bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
They gave us...
We're prolonging the podcast again.
Yes, we are. They gave us at least 2 or 3 paragraphs about him. Respect that. Because it's not happening again.
Yeah, there's way more Coda information than I have.
Yeah. So some various things coming up for people who might be in Japan. They're doing another Ayumi Miyazaki Show You My Brave Hearts concert on December 7th. There's also they also added Odaiba to the anime pilgrimage sites for 2020.
Finally, I'm surprised they didn't the first time.
Yeah, that is surprising.
I'm amazed they went Hikari Gouka first, but
because I feel like that's where you get the one where I feel like that one was picked first because the one super obvious image.
Yeah.
Rather than with Odaiba, there's like 10 different things you could choose between.
Also, there's a sign at the Hikari Gouka one.
I mean, I think when everyone makes their
Digimon, no, it's Odaiba.
Odaiba's the first place everyone goes.
No, it is.
Maybe they'll get to Hikari Gouka, and maybe they'll get to Shinjuku.
I've been to Japan 4 times, and I've been to Odaiba all those times, but I haven't been to Hikari Gouka once because it's just so hard to get to, and it's just like there are so many things to do in Japan, and that's a day trip.
Fair.
Well, not a day trip, but it's a lot of trains.
Yeah, and
Narima's out of the way, isn't it?
Yeah, and also, why would you go there when you can just stay your whole time at Nakano Broadway, which is the best.
Right? That's another one.
I stayed in an Airbnb that was right next door to it, and it was just it's such a good place.
That's so good. That's so cool.
Was, and also like the great thing about it is because it's such like an active area of locals, they just have karaoke and they just do karaoke until like 5 a.m, and then they fucking go to work. They are a country of drinkers. Like, I don't know why people say that Australians and the English people and Irish people drink so much. Like, Japan blows us out of the fucking water. They just drink. That's all they do. They go to work, they drink, and then they go home, like, for maybe a quick dinner with the family. Then they go work, and then they go out and drink again. What?
It's the best. Moving on.
Yeah. Sorry. Doing the thing again.
Then at Mega Hobby Expo 2019 Autumn, they're doing another Digimon talk. And the instant they announced who the third guest was, everyone figured out what was going to happen, and they sort of gave up on keeping it secret and told us just the other day. Because the third guest this time will be Tenya Yabuno, and they announced we will see the full color version of UL Force Vidramon, the Precious Gem figure. And they've given us a couple previews now, and man, that paint application looks nice, doesn't it? That's gonna be a nice. That's gonna be a nice overpriced $200 figure for me and May to buy.
Oh, it's gonna be like $500 for me.
Could be worse. You could be getting the Behemoth.
Yeah.
That's like $350 or $400. Even if Mirror AR were to get it from a U.S. dealer from U.S. stock, that would be a $400 figure, basically.
I am so glad I stopped buying the gem figures because like. it's just like I would be buying all of them, and
Yeah.
I would have no space. But I like this one because
Yeah.
also V-Tamer, and
Well,
I'm
this is
going to vote with my wallet.
yeah. Well, we've pointed this out before. This is like the weird Schrodinger's figure where if you don't want it, you absolutely should not buy it. But
Yeah.
if you do want it and you do have the money and you do want them to make weirder Digimon figures, you kind of need to buy it. If it's something
This
you
is
want and if you have the money, this is when you speak with your wallet.
yeah.
I'm
This is
just going to
okay,
reward them
V
for not doing
Tamer
another
fans.
fucking
Put up.
Omegamon.
This is put up or shut
Yeah.
up time for V Tamer fans.
But
Yeah.
well, that's where
Unless they can't afford it.
yeah, well
Yeah.
that
Well,
but
yeah,
but that's also where it gets odd because it's almost put up or shut up time for anything outside of adventure or tamers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also where we've all said it multiple times, if you don't like UL Force Vidramon or you just don't have the money, absolutely don't buy it. But if the answer to both of those is yes, then you almost have to speak with your wallet because
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm buying it and
Yeah.
not the other ones, because hey, look, it's something that's not adventure or tamers. Yay!
See, I really do want it, but I would be so much happier if it was just the adult level and him dancing with Taichi.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
I want that. Like, I'm not a huge fan of like Old Force. I mean, I like him, but I would much rather prefer
Something
Zero
with more,
Maru as being Zero
something with more
Maru.
character and
I
particularly
want,
tied to
yeah,
V
you.
Tamer.
I mean, I feel like that's what
Because
everyone
you can
wants.
get, you can have Ulforce and a bunch of the new games. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, there's plenty of ways to experience Ulforce outside
Yeah.
of V Tamer. There's only one Taichi and Zero Maru.
Exactly.
Also,
Well,
I'm not 100%,
that's not quite true, AR.
Well,
There is more than one Taichi, and in
I
fact,
mean,
we have him to talk about right now.
that was a really labored segue, Mark.
Yeah, that was an attempt at a segue.
I try, but okay.
I like this one, but I'm not.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I like this one. It makes sense. It's affordable, but it also does show just how crazy some of the recent ones have gotten. That this one almost feels low key.
Yeah.
Like this is a super nice one, and it makes perfect sense to do because it's based on one of the oldest pieces of key art that everyone knows. But doing a $70 low key small figure almost feels like not enough at this point.
I mean, you gotta have some gestures for people who don't want to spend
No,
$400.
no,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Like,
but
this is a nice.
It's really nice.
Nice.
But what I mean is the problem is because it's the 20th anniversary figure. Like at first, everyone's like, "Oh, they're gonna do all 8 of them," and I'm just sitting there nodding my head. No, they're not going. This is
Oh, no,
the
no,
20.
no.
They might
no.
do Yamato.
Maybe.
I feel like if they were gonna do Yamato, we would have heard about it by now while this is up for pre-order.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's not. But it comes
Look,
out.
I'm still surprised.
Also, given the original image this was based off of, there aren't really any equivalents for the other kids.
Oh, I mean, we could go to Tamers and we could have the American art of the original kids with the big fucking weird lips and mouth.
We're gonna get to that. That's gonna come up later on. But
Oh, is it? Oh, really? Spoilers, I guess.
Sort of, yeah.
I will say for $70, this isn't a bad one though. I like it.
No,
I feel like I'm sort of waiting to see what Crunchyroll does for their holiday sale before I pre-order it.
Yeah, there's a lot of character in this one. I really like it.
Yeah.
And then we get the small wave of things they've already done before. May, that sounded like that was absolutely a real sneeze, but it sounded like a cartoon sneeze.
I'm sorry.
At the Toei store, they put up various DigiFest stuff. I kind of want the Patamon and Tailmon plushes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
I want all the plushes, and I'm so mad at myself for wanting all the plushes.
am I wrong, or have we seen photos of these as they're being sold, and they're like flat packed in vacuum bags?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I could swear
I haven't seen any of those.
I could swear I saw one at like one of the Miku stores, and it was like and it was like vacuum bagged completely flat.
Oh, I wasn't looking that closely, but
yeah.
Okay.
So a bunch of these were at the Toei store. Basically a bunch of the DigiFest stuff, and then they were also at the AFFT screenings. And the funny part was, I remember I posted them being at the screening. It was like 6 hours after I posted. So I'm not, man, I don't know why you posted. No one's gonna go there. And then literally a few hours later, we found out Chris had seen the post and ran over to the theater and grabbed a stack of stuff, which was the funniest thing. Like literally went straight there once he found out about it.
Good old Chris.
Yeah,
Way to be on the ball.
yeah. And then we found out, and this was weird because we found out about them. Some of them are already sold out. They are redoing the plushies from earlier in the year, plus the Terriermon cushion, the Try T-shirt, and all the. Now, mate, was this one of the shirts you wanted to get and then it sold out?
No, I wore this shirt the other day.
Okay, so you
Actually,
did
I
you
wore it for
did
like
get
a week
it then.
straight when I was camping.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I like
you
the
did
shirt.
get. There was some shirt I could swear I remember you wanting it and it's selling out. I was thinking, oh, it's the one she.
Oh, it was the I think it was the Pixel shirt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're redoing only the Tai Chi Digivice keychain, which I don't know why that makes me laugh that they're not redoing the others, but it tells us which ones they think sold the best.
Yeah.
And they're re-releasing Digivolving Spirits War Greymon, which I would expect was the best selling of the Digivolving Spirits, and we'll talk more about that later. But for
not the best one though for me, not my favorite.
No, but this one had goals beyond being good.
Yeah.
But there's more Digivolving Spirits to talk about later.
Hopefully, I love that series so much.
So back to the AFFT screening really quickly. The postcard was new art. We kind of figured it was gonna be the Kizuna one, but the new art, the new art based around the episodes they showed was.
They surprised us. That was really cool.
Yeah, and hopefully we will see this art because this could very well be art that we never see again. It's happened before.
Yeah, this is. I mean, it's really unique and it's very particular to these 2 episodes that they screened.
Yeah.
So also, yeah, I'm like, where else are you going to use this?
Also, can we agree that like I don't like Yamato's face in this? It has that look of going, oh, you guys.
He has this look of, yeah, let's go through one of my most traumatic experiences from this adventure. Yeah, that time that we befriended a couple guys and this ass just killed them point blank. I'm really happy to be reliving this right now. Thanks, guys.
And now we get to talk about, hey, scan and breakdown of the Digimon fun facts from the UK.
And here we go. This is where I wanted to talk. Yeah. We can talk about the Western art.
So the entire reason scans of this exist was that Vandy got a new scanner, scanned the whole thing. She was just gonna throw it up for me. I'm like, no, give it to me. I'll do my shitty write up, put it in the gallery. You know, and I'm looking up what the hell the thing is, so I don't just say it's a personal organizer and be done with it. And
it's a personal organizer.
No, it is, but like it was weird, you know, when you get to the stuff about how you can buy the little books to stick in it.
Yeah.
Where I'm actually
it's a refillable personal organizer.
Where I'm actually putting in more effort than probably the people who made it to try to write about the damn thing.
This is the first time I've actually seen the Western art of Kari. I've seen all the others before,
no, there's more hilarious art of her.
Oh God.
No.
Remember AR?
I know you went through and uploaded it. I did not look much at. I didn't really flip through it.
The thing is there's so much of it. It's actually hard to just look through it. It gets worse before it gets better.
What's really funny is that they have the spot the difference one is actually a genuine. Like that art is art looks legit.
See, what just I got stuck at Sora, who usually has like Pyokomon on her back, but she just looks like she's presenting without the Pyokomon on her back.
I've seen that before without the Pyokomon. I think that's in the board game. Uses that.
Yeah, it fucking would be in the board game, wouldn't it?
Which piece of art are you talking about?
The one on the Digimon and me, and it's Sora.
The one with Sora bending over that everyone laughs at. Okay, I know the one you mean.
Yeah, it looks also. They
now
found Sora's hat in one of the images.
I'm pretty certain that it shows up like that in the board.
Yamato wearing? I'm sorry, Yamato has stolen one of Koshiro's shirts.
I
I'll
just
just spell the
can't.
difference. Never mind. I thought it was, and I was really offended for a second. But no, it's on purpose. I thought it was just an error. It's okay. I'm good.
You'll be happy to know that I got all of the trivia questions right.
I'm still mentally trying not to just burst out laughing from the Sora one, to be honest, because that is the one that everyone used to mock even back then.
Yeah.
That's just the dumbest. Because especially the way May presented it, she's just presenting herself. It's just.
That's what she's doing.
Yeah. Let's move on before we keep laughing. But yeah, it's an interesting, weird little thing from the UK. The fun facts. Let's move on.
It's a weird It's just a weird throwback to the days when this sort of stuff was marketable.
Also, sorry, another thing on the Digidata one at the top. Why does they look like they couldn't find a transparent Digimon logo, so they just stuck one on without removing the background? It just looked fucked. Right?
Which one?
Oh yeah, yes.
I was like, I can't be bothered finding a transparent background at the top of the image for this size.
I didn't even notice that before.
Wait, which one am I looking for?
The first Digidata.
Oh,
it's the same row as the.
Oh wow, that is. See, I assume that's probably a layout. Actually, if you look carefully, I think that's a sticker.
Is it?
Look at the full size one. I think it's a sticker or a cutout or something.
Oh, it could be.
It could be, but
yeah, I think that's. I think someone put a sticker.
Yeah, I can see it's a bit raised off the page, so maybe it's
it could be something where they actually wrote their name down and then they put a Digimon sticker to cover that up from when we scanned it.
Next image, the All About Me, but with Taichi on it. Is Agumon's arm broken? Because that's how an arm should bend.
Just sing the Jurassic Park song and.
You look at that and you can no longer make fun of how Agumon was drawn in Try.
No.
Jeez.
Who did I draw these?
Yeah, how many of these artworks were drawn by the previous owner of this book?
Let's see.
Huh.
Yeah, see, now we're just all scrolling. Let's move on from scrolling through the pages.
No, I was just waiting for you to move on.
We can literally do the With the Will podcast gallery special where we just put up a bunch of the images as title cards and laugh at them for an hour and a half in the future.
That would be a good filler episode.
Yeah, that will be a random episode we do with no news where it's just us laughing at and mocking the old Saban style guide artwork.
Oh my god.
Okay, so
I love the old art.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have the lead up where I've been recommending stuff in the lead up to Kizuna coming out, and since a few people asked, there will be more guest slots. 2 people have asked, haven't given me anything yet. Wink, wink. Being awfully silent.
Don't look at me. I'm not like I can't think of anything that.
I believe, AR, I believe when I invited you, you said, let me think about it for a bit, about what to recommend. And that was the last time I heard from you 2 or 3 months ago.
I said I was going to think about it for a bit, and I have not.
Exactly. So the ones...
I didn't say when I was going to think about it.
Yeah, that's what I was... That's the comment I was expecting. So DevQ picked That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Then I did Laid Back Camp, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. That one was funny because that one, everyone was seemingly expecting a fan service show and they didn't get it. Then Yowamushi Pedal, which is one of the most fun shows there is. It's literally just Dragon Ball Z on bikes. With a dude.
I want to watch it.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
You really do need to watch it. There's literally a dude who just takes off his shirt and starts screaming about his abs while he's riding the bike, and then he starts talking to his abs.
Sounds like anime to me.
And then his abs talk back.
You know, for a second I was thinking maybe Ice Shield, but I don't need to do that after this. After Yowamushi, I don't recommending Ice Shield is redundant.
Yeah, Yowamushi needs to be watched because Season 2 is over, like, literally 20 hours. It is literally just part of one race, the entire second season.
I believe that.
And then Frieza shows up.
Now, I believe that, too.
No, that doesn't happen, but Things shockingly close to us. Then I did Demon King Daimao for a nice example of something that is kind of okay. And then Onke picked Agretsuko, which I still need to watch. I just haven't had the time.
Yeah, I
Then,
mean, I have got it on my queue too, actually.
then Kill la Kill, which most people
Always,
know at this point.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Super
Is it
Gals.
a classic? Is it old enough to be considered a classic yet?
I'm
Kind
not sure.
of.
It's
It's a
classic-ish. It's
modern
classic-ish.
classic. We'll say modern classic.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Super Gals, I still think that's a great show, and I'm still.
Super Gals, I watched 3 episodes of that in an anime viewing room at a convention once. I bought the DVD, and I still, like 10 years ago, and I still haven't watched it.
The best part about that is, and it's more common now. If you jump back to when it came out, Japan never got season 2 on home video, and we did.
Yeah.
Huh.
I did not buy season 2. I just bought
Yeah.
season 1.
It's such a good show, though. It's so good. And then the current one is Yu Yu Hakusho, which I think at that point we can safely call that one a classic. And look, if you look at the screen, you can see Koenma right by my name, almost like that was planned out. Although you can tell how horribly it wasn't planned out by the fact that I didn't do it the first time I did the lead up. Somehow Yu Yu Hakusho didn't come to mind at all when I was planning that one out.
Huh.
Even though it's on my avatar on almost every fucking website. But yes, I will wrangle May and AR to do guest slots like they both said they would.
I don't. Wait, did I?
I
Yes.
don't remember agreeing to this, but
I must have been asleep.
I'll find some crap to throw at you.
I don't watch anime. I'm too cool for that.
Same.
See
That's okay.
the main.
I used to watch anime. Like it's. I'm gonna labor over it for a little while, and then I'm gonna recommend the Desco and get lazy. So.
The main problem that I've had is most of what I watch is stuff that I'm working on, and I'm trying not to just suggest stuff where I have to go, I worked on this one, by the way.
Huh.
So I'm stretching hard because a lot of the stuff that I would have recommended, I recommended the first time. And I'm also, at some point, I'm sure I'm going to double up and pick something I've already done from last time.
Yeah, also, I don't know what you've
Oh
recommended.
fuck! I've got a blood nose.
Oh.
I will.
Are you using your psychic powers too much?
No, this is the second one I've ever had.
Okay, May's wandering off and dying. Me and
Okay.
AR will continue on to the Guinness World Records. May wins it for Bloody Nose. But Nig
I was gonna
Tiazing-
say May probably got second place for this
Yeah.
particular Guinness World Record, but
Yeah, Nig Tiazing, 18,264 Digimon items. That's a lot of stuff.
I really want to know what May is up to because
I think
What program is it?
I believe we just heard Brady.
hi Brady. Anyway,
So let's talk about the Guinness stuff.
professionalism.
To be fair, if we were professional, we wouldn't be doing this live. We're doing it live because I can't edit for shit and don't want to. So the over 18,000 items, the verification was helped by Kenshi Watanabe and director Kakudo. And there's just a lot of stuff here. I mean, I liked when they were going through, they're showing the photos of the double verification off the photos, and it's just a pile of pages. And she wrote that nice letter to everyone, and she got the certificate and posted the photo just a few days ago. And you can see that in the stream, in the video. And she got Kakudo and Watanabe to sign it.
I'm impressed that 18,264 is actually higher than the record for other pieces for some really huge franchises.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of those records are from years past, and it cost money to get the verification done.
Sure.
So unless someone tries to verify to beat your record, you're not going to get it re-verified.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, I think the Transformers one was from, like, 2003 or something.
Oh,
Or,
yeah, that's
yeah,
got
like
someone has to have beaten that by now.
Wait, I'm checking one thing. Like, I'm pulling up, say, the Pokemon one, for example. on their site-to-site sleuth. Here we go. No. Okay, the largest was 14,000. And that was 2010, and I think it got updated a year or two later by someone with 17,000. So so that one has been challenged and redone, but even then, I think it's still been 5-6 years since then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so some of those, it's just a matter of people not re-verifying because you're not going to spend the money to do it. When
Right.
I cannot imagine the cost to have that done, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure. I'm sure Winsy. I'm sure she's. I'm sure she has more now.
She said she has, and certain things were disqualified when they did it because she has doubles of things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, she hasn't stopped.
No.
Like, let's put it that way.
No.
So whatever that. So the 18,264, it's higher now.
In fact, I believe the verification was like from February or March, and it was this long until they confirmed stuff.
Sure.
And there's been quite a bit released over the last half year.
Absolutely.
She may have hit 20,000 by now, actually, now that I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, in theory, all we have to say about that. It'll be interesting to see if that ever gets challenged. I wouldn't be shocked if the answer was no.
Yeah, we'll find out when May comes back.
Yeah. And now...
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, okay, we will pop back to...
when I come back?
We will pop back to that card. Your opinion on the...
If you were going to challenge the Guinness record.
Oh, I have
Digimon
100%
memorabilia.
more than him. No, I didn't realize he was fucking counting cards. That seems like cheating. I probably have more than this guy.
Girl.
I use Guy I just use Guy for everyone. Sorry.
Yeah, I feel like at this point she probably has more than 20,000, so we'll see if May decides to challenge her.
If I can be bothered counting, that's a lot.
That's what we were talking about, is that's something you have to pay money to have someone come in and verify all this stuff.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of these records haven't been touched in a while, and why some of the bigger franchises have records that are smaller item numbers.
Yeah. Like the Simpsons one, I think I remember that being from like 2003 or something.
That could be. That doesn't surprise me as much because I don't think there's been a whole ton of new Simpsons merch. Like, it's steady, but it's not like extreme.
I'm actually pulling up the Simpsons one just to check. Oh, it's actually someone from May's side of the world. It's someone from Australia.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought
we have so many fucking crazy people. So
I thought Australia hated the Simpsons.
Okay.
No.
Okay, are you ready for the last time the Simpsons was verified? 2008.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. So that's... So moving on from Guinness...
I can't imagine it being that much higher.
We have the social media art, which this time we have a good bet. So first we have the glasses one, which...
Yes. I forgot that we had helmet... That one threw me off.
Yeah, I mean, we've had her on the cards before.
No, I know we have.
Yeah. That's what you meant. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing it. I was like, oh, right. That's that exists. You know what she looks like without the helmet on, and she and Lilithmon are friends apparently.
I kind of love this.
Yeah.
For some reason, this one seemed it actually upset a few people because they thought they were getting rid of the SD art, which it's still super deformed. It's just different for the characters.
Yeah,
makes sense. And then we got the pre-Halloween art, which them deciding on the costumes, which is great.
Yeah,
I wish Terriermon would have stuck with Erica.
And then
I only just noticed that Pumpkin Mom was in it.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: the pre-Halloween art one was fun. Then the Halloween art one, when it says Switch, it's like, oh, okay, that's why it's an advertisement.
Well, yeah.
I mean, they're all advertisements, but that's a bit more obvious. No, I mean, it actually says like Switch and everything on it.
Yeah. Should have gone with Erica.
Yeah, out of these, the glasses one's the neatest one to me.
If Terriermon would have picked Erica, does that count as a couple cosplay?
No. Bad.
Bad AR. Okay, moving on to the topic that I'm sure May wants to talk about. It's Digimon ReArise is out.
I fucking love this game so much.
I was gonna say at the intro, it's like it's been so long since we've had a last podcast that two of the things we've been impatiently waiting to come out in English came out in English.
No, more than two things. There's a few others.
Okay, the two things I was waiting for.
So the
Appmon and ReArise, yeah.
so the game. Stop spoiling what's coming up.
I can't help it.
Oh, everyone on the chat knows already.
I know.
Also, it's been like, what, a month?
Are we just not?
Not quite.
If you want us to talk about Appmon on Crunchyroll, you'll have to wait until the next podcast in 3 months.
Oh, no.
And let's talk about Noble Pumpkinmon, which I feel like that's exactly what everyone expected him to be.
I'm so... I love Noble Pumpkinmon. I love Pumpkinmon.
I haven't gotten Noble Pumpkinmon yet. And
the only thing different than what everyone expected to be, I feel like everyone thought he was going to have a cloak. And instead he has
wings. This is way better
wings.
than a cloak.
This is way better. Also, he's really good in the game. Like, he's just a really good member to have on your team.
I'm just staring at the image and laughing, to be honest, because...
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's so perfect.
And then we get to talk about the controversy. The winner of the poll was Vmon, which surprised no one, except the people surprised who got very upset about it, to the point they're like, they stacked the poll, it's fake.
Mark,
they stacked
people got upset over something on the internet?
Oh, if you go look at the...
What is the logic for this conspiracy theory? Why would they stack the poll for Vmon?
Yeah, also Vmon, wouldn't they stack it for like a fucking Renamod or something?
Right?
The theory...
I mean, I voted for Vmon. I was very happy because I like Vmon.
I forgot who I voted for.
The dumbassery seems to be, well, Vmon won in Japan, and that way they wouldn't have to do anything different. Ignoring that it's not like it's not like much special was done in the first place.
Right? What was the prize? That everyone gets one?
Yes, everyone gets Vmon.
How many people are complaining over a free thing?
Now let's be clear. If you look at the list of Digimon to choose from,
I'm trying to find that.
Okay.
I'm pulling it up.
Vmon is maybe the second most popular Digimon on the list, but that's not the one that people thought was going to win. Vmon is second or third most popular on the list. Totally.
I am looking at all of the Digimon that were up for votes. I ended up with all of these anyway. Like they're
not rare. Like they're all easy to
get. They're not hard to get. But even if you look at each one objectively, Vmon is either the second or the third most popular here, and the one that's more popular. There's no one who thought that was going to be a hard Digimon to get, which is Patamon.
Yeah.
You could maybe argue that Gomamon's more popular. Maybe. I feel like Vmon's more popular though. But the thing is no one was sitting there going, "Oh no, maybe Patamon's going to be difficult to get."
Yeah, right.
I mean, he's also if it's the same natured one, that's that one's in the meta for the PvP anyway. Like that's one of the only ones here that I actually see in the meta, like in terms of frequency of use.
No, but that's what I mean though. Is like let's go ahead and pretend that we agree with them. Who would be the one outside of Patamon that we would choose to somehow get more votes?
Right.
Yeah.
What is it going to be? Is it going to be
Renamon if you tap the free crowd?
Yeah, I was gonna say what is it? Is the furry army going to show up for Renamon? But that wasn't even like people were like, "Oh no, it should have been Galmon or Snow Agumon." It's like hell no.
The really funny
I thought
thing
maybe
is...
Impmon, like
maybe.
I would pick Impmon, Vmon, or Renamon to win, and I was kind of like, oh, well, Renamon and Impmon are pretty popular, but Vmon's pretty popular, so I thought one of those three would win.
The weird thing is, I don't actually remember getting Vmon as a special acquisition. Like, I just got Vmon normally with half of the rest of these guys.
Is it possible you still have the egg somewhere and just haven't noticed?
No, I've been diligent about hatching my eggs, but no, I mean, and I have a Vmon. He's on now, and but
yeah, I got the game. I started playing through the story, and then after 2 days, I stopped because I can't be damned.
I'm still playing it. I like it.
Yeah, I've been playing it.
Here's the thing. I want to play it for the story. The game itself is not fun. Like, it's just not an enjoyable thing for me to sit there and do.
I like that they have different gameplay styles.
I think I had turned the battle to auto after the first hour, and I'm just like,
oh yeah, I always
no, but that's what I mean.
I'm surprised that the PvP is pretty good. Like, I mean, it's not live PvP, so you have to worry about the other person quitting.
Yeah, I like the PvP actually.
Yeah, PvP is pretty good because it's as I said, it's not live. But the funniest thing to me, and this will always be the funniest fucking thing to me, is that the day of release, people are complaining because it feels like a free to play game. That was the
Yeah.
legitimate complaints that I saw where people say, "Oh, it feels too much like a free to play game." It's like it fucking is, mate.
My
Yeah.
one complaint is some of the evolution chips, particularly the ones for the specific Digimon, are hard to get to even if
Oh
you
yes,
do pay for them. That's my one real
yeah.
complaint. Everything else is like this is good.
It's
Like
because
the
they're
story.
the drop rate's pretty random. Like I got the
Yeah.
Wolverine one super quickly, but the Sakuyamon one took like so long to fucking drop.
Yeah.
I do like how there's an actual coherent story.
Mhm.
It's just
Yeah.
hard for me to be damned to sit there and push through battles to get tiny bits of it at a time. And can we
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
But
point? And can we all point
it
out
is,
like,
but at the same time, it's like it's a free. This is what I expected. Like
oh
the
no,
characters, the
absolutely.
story. It's
Mm.
in like the story is engaging enough, and the characters have enough fun personality that they kind of carry you through the monotony
Yeah.
of some of the
No.
gameplay elements, especially in story mode.
Now
I mean, the
for
story is surprisingly like good for a free to play game. It's
Yeah.
been Links was shit. Like in terms of story,
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
enjoyed Links. I played Links for quite a while. I enjoyed it, but in terms of story, it was I think I skipped most of the story because it was just so boring. And same with
I
other
don't
gacha
remember
games like Pokemon.
I don't remember there being a story for
Oh
Links.
yeah, it was like,
there-
oh, there's something wrong with the world. There's also this big dragon. Okay, we've got to attack
Mhm.
this big dragon a couple of times. Oh, it's still storing energy. That was the story. I'm not sure how they made that long, but it was, and it dragged on, and it was boring. This is an actual story with actual characters I actually care about, and it's surprising because it's a free game.
Mhm.
And is anyone shocked at who Doraemon sounds like in English?
Oh,
It
I don't really
sounds
Well,
translate in
it
it sounds
sounds
like
Japanese.
two different characters. That's the thing.
it
Like
sounds
sometimes it's
shockingly like Ben Diskin to me.
it does. At times, it sounds like Ben Diskin.
Yeah,
Like
there
there's
was there. It's happened with a few different characters where I will swear the voice has changed for like one or two words, like almost
Mhm.
like they had someone else do fill in for a few different voices.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
I'm
that.
impressed that
It's like that one episode of Zero Two where both Sora and Yoli are different
yeah,
actors, but they only
that
speak like
was
one line,
Yeah.
so you barely notice.
oh, I noticed, but
Oh, so did I,
I
but most
was
people never did.
that was really hilarious. That was Wendy Lee voice, or I had a field day with
Yeah.
that on the blog.
And now, can we all just point out, because everyone said it, why does Harrismon sound like Elmo?
I wish I
That
kind of played
voice,
the English version just so I could hear this. But I chose the Japanese version.
that voice honestly stands out horribly.
it really does.
Like
That's
it's a
sad.
good voice. It just doesn't work for that character.
It,
It stands out horribly compared to everyone else who sounds normal.
yeah, it's a little like they could have dialed it back just a little bit, and I think it would have worked okay. But
It's almost
yeah,
literally, hi,
it's
I'm
Elmo. It
Harris.
is
It is
Elmo.
Oh,
yeah.
that does not. That it's cute, but like, yeah, not for.
It is a very very well done Elmo impression and does not work compared like if everyone had weird cartoony voices, it might work. But
It
Yeah.
would have. I think it
but
would have worked okay with Pasurimon, but not with Arismon.
yes. So are we good for ReArise for now?
For now, there's a
I
question at the end.
I love it. I
We'll
love
talk
it.
about it again.
And Cyber Sleuth
I hate summons. I hate
My
gacha
son
games.
my son loves it. That's the important
That's
thing.
adorable.
Cyber
Yeah.
Sleuth Complete Edition came out, and I played it, did a review, did breakdown, went over technical stuff. Hooray!
I did none of
I-
those things.
I forgot how fucking slow it was.
Let's be clear. I said I was gonna give the game another chance, and I did, and I really fucking wrote about it. Like, if you look at the effort I put into it, I put in the effort into it.
Yeah, you definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I
mean,
really liked it when it
and-
came out.
We're all proud of you.
And let's be
Yeah.
clear, according to the game clock, I've played for over 800 hours.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's fucked, isn't it?
Yep.
It's still broken.
Hey,
But
that
sure,
works- that
Pokemon
works.
fans, come here. We have perfect games.
That works to our advantage. So
Well, no, and that's the thing. Me and May saw someone like bitching endlessly about Pokemon yesterday, and then
Yeah.
when the clock issue was brought up, they're like, "Well, that's not a problem. That's helpful." And it's like, if you're gonna complain about coding issues, you can't ignore the ones that just happen to help you.
mhm.
Yeah.
Because, like, here's the thing: I would actually like to know how long I've played the game for, because
Oh, absolutely.
by the time I was writing the review, by the time I was writing it, it already said I had over 100 hours, and there's no way in hell that happened. Half of that week I was working nonstop.
Hmm.
I think I was at maybe 5 or 6 hours, maybe. But yeah, the port for the Switch is nice. The port for the PC is nice. The PC version came out a day early, which people were happy about. And based on who you asked, the PC port is either the best port ever or the worst port ever.
Doesn't it have a weird way of walking or
sounds
something?
right.
I haven't played the PC port, but doesn't it have a weird way of walking, like if you're not using a controller?
No, you use the
Oh.
you use the keyboard.
Yeah, I heard people like
The
complaining about it.
only real issue about the PC port is you're mapping everything to the keyboard and mouse, and you don't get keyboard buttons in game. It still shows the controller buttons.
So it's like a direct port.
Yeah.
Yes. So
although
the visual inputs will switch between Xbox and PlayStation controllers, though.
Sure.
But it's kind of glitchy in how it does it. Like if you flip through everything I read, there's literally a part where I'm going over the notes about how it works, because you can actually get it to show you the wrong controller based on what you're using. But honestly, the PC port's good. I
want to buy it for my partner because he doesn't even like Digimon, but I just want to buy it for him for some reason.
It's ported nicely. I still recommend that if you have a powerful enough computer, even if you have a 1080p screen, play it at 4K. Because the super scaling actually makes the game look significantly better. Shockingly so. And that is one of the weird flaws of the game, honestly. The game looks better if you're playing it at the wrong resolution. And that's just weird.
I played it.
I'm sending both of you a 1080p screenshot and then 480p being shoved back down by the graphics card while I'm playing. 1080, the 4K one looks...
What?
Because here's the thing. It's rendering out using that weird line style the game has always had.
Yeah.
But the game will not display at a higher resolution than your monitor is set at. So when you set it for 4K, it's forcing it back down to 1080p, but rendering it out at 4K still, so it actually looks significantly nicer. And when I say significantly nicer, I don't mean, it's slightly better. I mean, it looks completely different. Which still weirds me out, to be honest. But yeah, the game works well. I'd say it's good on either system. They tossed out a few random trailers in the lead up to the game. And Habu's also been answering some sort of not relevant questions. It's nice that they're answering them, but it's kind of the issue we had with the panel questions, where it's all either stuff that was kind of obvious if you played the games, or they're sort of softball questions. But that's also kind of what you expect a producer to answer, to be honest. But yeah, so May, were you thinking about I think you said you got it on Switch?
Yeah, I have it on Switch, and as I said, I forgot how slow it was.
Are you telling me it's not the ultimate game that you should buy instead of Pokemon?
No, Pokemon's much better. In terms of my current levels of enjoyment. It actually dives into the game. Cyber Sleuth is kind of it takes a while to get into some. It's better than Sun and Moon. Cyber Sleuth is better than Sun and Moon.
The Persona influencing all over again.
I think when
influence. No, you mean copying. They stole. Digimon stole from Persona.
I like that Hacker's Memory straight up tried to steal social links.
I think when
people are accusing it of ripping off Persona completely, which is really weird because that's just the fucking style. It's a JRPG.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, when you do a generally average style JRPG, it's shocking how I've used this as an example before. If I go pull out the Super Famicom Ranma RPG I have, it is shockingly close to this outside of graphics.
Yeah.
Now we shall move on
to
the next game. Yeah. So were you gonna get the PC version, May?
No, but I might buy it for Brady.
Okay.
Just because the only game plays on Steam is Dota, and I'd like to. I just want him to have it in his library because he'll have a Digimon game and that's it. He probably won't play it.
I will say this: the controller stuff aside, which the controller stuff's how we expected it to be. It seems to be a nice PC port, and I think that's a good way to play the game. I think
Yeah.
I think the way I'm most likely to play it more is on the Switch, but I think overall it might be a better call on the PC for many people just because it uses Steam Cloud to back up your saves and everything, and I think that's just nice.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we get to talk about. It's so nice that they're still releasing news about this, even though all these people have been telling us it's definitely canceled, huh?
Oh yeah, Survive. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's super cancelled. Yeah, this news
Yeah.
is just
So
unrelated.
Volcano
Definitely.
Oda recorded for it at where he's playing Zuan Wuman,
I love this.
and the little sketch.
This is the best news ever.
I know.
It is.
But the best part is we even know where he is in the game.
Doesn't matter. Like Oda is Shanwaman. Like yeah, give me this.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if he's anyone else, because like there's other characters. We'll see.
Can we just make him all of the four?
Yeah.
Like have him just do different voices for all four
and
of
then
them.
we got
or actually no, the same voice for all four of them. That works too.
And then we got some decent we got more story details in like the last few weeks than we've gotten in a long time, actually.
Yeah.
My favorite part about all the story details, though, was someone arguing just the other day on Twitter about how great Digimon is because it's always going to be about the internet and technology.
Well, about that.
Yeah, this one
over here we have a Miyazaki.
Yeah, the more that they talk about this, the more it comes across as Spirited Away.
I think
they use. Yeah, I think they did somewhere.
Yeah, it said those children are spirited away. Yeah,
but yeah, there's
that's like just more of a folklore thing.
It is.
We'll see what.
You mean you could also say it's fucking. I can't literally talk about one of my favorite anime of all time because I can't remember the fucking name. Higurashi, there we are.
Yeah.
That's the plot of Higurashi. Like, he's being spirited away.
Yeah. It's Higurashi, and I that would be great, honestly.
That's an anime I could write about for like a whole novel. I fucking love that anime.
Instead of waiting for Kizuna, if you're waiting for Survive, check out Higurashi.
It feels
we're all crossing our we all crossing our fingers that Survive ends up almost as bloody.
God, if it's like Higurashi, I'm gonna fucking have a field day. That was great.
I know, right? Like when you said Higurashi, I'm like, oh man, I want.
AR, you have to add the asterisk if the game comes out.
Which is not because it's cancelled. That's right. We're still having people on Reddit ask that.
This is why I don't go to Reddit, because I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard anyone tell me that this game was canceled.
On Twitter and Reddit, it comes up all the fucking time.
Yeah.
May used to be an innocent soul who cared about people.
Yeah.
Now she understands why sometimes it seems like I'll be completely sweet and I'll be like, oh, these fucking people.
Yeah.
When I'm dealing with people on sites. Now that she's a moderator, she understands why sometimes it seems like I'm one step from going crazy.
Yeah, just like people are just it's not fucking cancelled. Also, read the rules in FAQ.
See, that's the other thing. I remember May used to even ask me. Sometimes she goes, Mark, how come sometimes on the site you don't tell people to go read the rules? You'll just give them like a short answer that kind of answers their question, and that's it. It's like, it's not worth the fucking effort because they're not going to fucking go do it. The rules are there so that if someone does something wrong, I can point there and say, the rules say not to do that.
And I tried looking for the source, but didn't find it. Isn't that's not an excuse? Oh, I couldn't find the source, or I don't have the source, but here's this art.
See, May used to be a lovely person, and now she's been a moderator for a year and a half, and she hates everyone.
Oh fuck that! I've never been a lovely person.
Yeah, right. Is one of the rules? Is one of the rules? Don't be an idiot.
Yes.
Because that seems to be the important one.
I believe one of the rules literally says, don't try to bypass any of the rules or anything we've said, or else you'll be dealt with, basically.
Yeah, and then people are surprised. Like,
Also,
okay.
if one of the rules is don't be an idiot, would that like knock everyone off of Reddit?
But I still like the people who pop up and will try to debate the rules with May when she tells them to stop.
That's my favorite.
Mm.
My absolute favorite. It's
My-
always me. I don't know why. Do I? Am I squishy?
No,
Do I look
because here's the
squishy?
thing. You will try to debate them and talk to them. I will just go to the staff chat and say, can we just suspend this person? Or someone
And
else deal
I
with
guess
this before I tell them to fuck off.
I have too much faith.
Yeah, and every single time you're proven wrong.
Yeah, every time I'm like, hey, this person, what do we do? And Mark's just like, ban them? Like, but debating.
Yeah, and then May will go, no, we need to be fair. And May will nicely say something to them, and then they'll tell her to fuck off, and May will just be like, Mark, just ban him.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, Mark, you win.
Moving on from Survive and us ranting about Reddit, it was the 19th anniversary of Digimon the movie. And those, I think I teased these a few months ago when I had them, promotional slides I scanned.
I love this movie.
And it's funny how, based on the quality we had of prior images, is the quality of the scans. The Digimon the movie slide was the lowest quality. The R Wargame post was actually pretty nice. That one.
That one's like that's one of the promotional ones for the Japanese release, right?
But it was used in the US stuff quite a bit. Like it's
I know, but
and then we have the promotional screenshot that does not exist, which is the best of them all. And I believe we've only ever had this as a perspective warped thumbnail, correct? I don't think we've ever had a good image of this.
Yeah, I feel like it's always been really small, like the back of a DVD.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen this.
It's one of those images that you're so used to that you don't really know the conditions that you remember seeing it in. Or I never even registered with me that clip that shot isn't actually in the movie.
Yeah. But yeah, the scan of this one came out really fucking great. Like shockingly good. He doesn't exist.
Who cares? Willis is Willis is an imaginary.
But yeah, I'm really happy with how those scans came out, and I've still tried to track down stuff like that. I was talked out of one of my bad ideas, which was, hey, look, it's a Toei Animation Fair 35mm film reel. I could scan that. And someone's like, Mark, you really don't want to even try that. No. Yeah. So I did not do that, and moving on from that, it's the 3rd anniversary of Appmon, and we got it all subbed at once. And much like Try, they only told us the day before.
Yeah. Yep. Which I like. I like this sort of like sudden drop. I
don't. I didn't like that at all because I have to write a blog all of a sudden.
But also, AR was the one who, more than anyone else, was dreaming that we would get the mass of toys and products and stuff.
Yeah, I was hoping for a more ambitious rollout. So
yeah, I was hoping for an English release. So to get the toys.
It is sad that it feels like we're never going to get a dub.
Here's the thing: if this had been how the show was released when it came out, there would be nothing negative to say at all.
No, not at all.
But since it's happening after this long, we have to wonder, does it mean that Toei's either given up, or have they signed something and the company wants the sub to be up so people start talking about it first?
Yeah.
It is possible. I mean, they did have Cross Wars up on Crunchyroll before Fusion came out.
I'm just pessimistic that we're not going to get a dub for some reason, even though I feel like this would work better with a dub because it's more aimed at kids than Try was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this could be better.
I honestly feel like this doesn't say anything about getting a dub one way or the other. Minus that we do not have a dub right now.
Yeah, I'm just pessimistic because I'm pessimistic in general. But I just I want there to be a dub because
this would be such a fun dub.
It'd be so fun.
This is something that
yeah.
I mean, Try was actually the same way. Try is more fun to watch if you're familiar with the original English dub, but Appmon, like, this just seems like something where it just lends itself to having a really corny English dub. Like, it just feels appropriate.
Yeah. And also, like, I like Appmon.
There's not a lot of stuff that you'd really have to cut for content. It was very kid friendly. It's very kid friendly.
Yeah.
And they didn't even use like real world places. I mean, they sort of did, but they never really names, so it would translate pretty well too. Like they don't have to.
All of the names. I mean, if you really want to westernize all of the names, I mean, they're all pretty much
They're already based
westernized
on
to
Western.
begin with.
Yeah, because they're based on
Like I'd be. I mean,
Hal and.
I wouldn't be
Also,
a
yeah,
fan
his
of
name-
using Hal for Haru's name, but
Yeah, because I just think
there.
of the fucking dad and Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
I'm still just smiling every time I see Gatchmon.
Yeah, same. I
He
love
has such
Gatchmon.
a goofy, cute face.
Mhm.
And personality too. I love
I know.
Gatchmon. Gatchmon's so good. I love the characters. I love all of them. Even though I thought that I would hate Astra when he had his first episode, I ended up loving Astra because he's surprised they actually had character development.
Groovy.
Mhm. Groovy.
I love
I'm not a fan of Groovy, but
why is Watson on this?
because remember when the show came out, we were trying to convince a character,
I think
or
you
at
cut out
least
that
an
bit.
important character.
I thought he was going to be the the Digimon seasons how we have like the kid who shows up and becomes a main character.
I thought
like,
he was going to be.
halfway
I
through.
thought he was going to be Kenta. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was
What's
going to
really
be a
funny.
Kenta.
What's really funny is one of Watts' friends is named Kenta.
Also, isn't like his full name Takeru or something? Like he's
Takeru Watto, yeah.
Yeah, which is also based on, I believe,
Watts.
program,
Well,
I think?
I don't know about that, but Watson is obviously named after an AI. Ellie's
Yeah.
named after an AI.
AI's literally name is AI. Well,
AI is I is named after an AI.
I
Haru's
is AI.
Hal is named after an AI.
And Ray's Zero, and his brother
Ray
is
is named after Ray Kurzweil.
Yeah, but also Ray and Hajime is 0 and 1.
0 and
so
1.
they're fucking binary.
See,
so
in my head, I'm just hearing Haku Haku Haku.
Haku Haku Haku. I love Hackmon. I love when things happen. He's a little bit different, and it's just all the characters are so good,
No, so
and I love Appmon.
I honestly don't think we're out of the realm of getting a dub yet. I'm not necessarily expecting it to pop up soon, but Toei likes to have their stuff dubbed. I wouldn't be shocked.
Do you remember that person who tried to tell me that Fusion Part 2 was coming at the start of like 2019 or 2018 or something, and said, "Oh, well, this is like this is what's happening." I'm like, who? And I literally couldn't find the source.
Yeah, but
I remember that.
What we do have a good source for is that Digimon Fusion's leaving Netflix on December 1st.
Yeah, well,
I want fucking claps for that segue.
Yeah, okay, that was good.
No,
but can I think I mentioned this, but the actual part 2 of Digimon Fusion never came to Australia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was never released. Well, when we had it on Netflix, we only had the first season, and that was like a year or two ago. And I think when I was halfway through, like a couple episodes into Digimon Fusion for the podcast, it came off Netflix, and it was only the first part. It was never the second part, which is arguably the best part of
really.
Now, sorry, go ahead.
You never got the. I mean,
we never got it on DVD.
Technically, Nicktoons did air the Dark Generals arc.
Yeah, but we never had it on TV either. The first season came out, and then I was watching along with the show because I think it was just before I had class at university. That's how long ago it was. And I remember that it was the last episode of season 1, and then the next episode was the first episode of season 1. So they just aired season 1 twice. And that was
there was a gap between season 1 and 2 to the point where I actually was tempted to reach out to Kyle Hebert to ask if they're dubbing season 2 of that.
Yeah, well, season 2 had already come out in America at this point, I believe. So it was unusual that it wasn't also coming here. It was just really weird. It never came out, and then the DVDs, you can still find them, but they're only like they're not compilation DVDs. They're like this one's the Island Zone arc, and they're like the old version of like Volume 1, Volume 2, and there's like 4 volumes. So we never even got a compiled version because we didn't get the whole season. So
I have a question. Is anything of the dub available streaming now? Once Fusion gets off Netflix?
Because
is the dub gone?
Here's the thing: we don't know if this is actually the end of the residual Saban rights, or if it's just when their Netflix thing ended. Because you can still get Data Squad and Fusion on various digital stores right now.
Are those paid though? Like
Yes.
on demand?
Yes.
Okay. Like I'm just wondering, like as far as
Star still has Adventure, O2, and Frontier.
Okay.
And those are still via Stars on Hulu and Amazon and other services also. If you subscribe to Stars through them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because I was afraid that was it completely for the dub.
Yeah.
No, and of course Try still floats around quite a bit.
Oh yeah. I wasn't worried about Try.
Yeah, we still get people asking where they can watch it.
Yep.
Hey, there's a segue in here for you, Mark.
Take it. Because I can't take it because we didn't talk about. We don't actually know what's going on with the rights for Saban's rights at this point.
Okay, fine. Let's keep talking about.
Well, we need to because that actually is important. I can't take the segue because we weren't done in the first place. We really don't know if the residual rights are still floating around or not. Because you would assume they are, because you would assume they probably didn't sign a contract past when they had the show, but we'll see. There can't be that much longer on them, to be fair.
Yeah. Just wait in 2 weeks. Someone on Reddit will say it'll be on Disney Plus in the spring.
We still see that. I still see that on Reddit and Twitter constantly.
For Fusion?
For Digimon in general.
Okay.
To the point that Disney owns.
Like
Digimon.
I know, like obviously the people expecting the movie to come out on Disney Plus is hat, but I was wondering if Fusion would be a new one.
The only time I think about Disney and Digimon is when I get to make the joke that it makes Mimi kind of a Disney princess. Not really, because
Mimi was a Disney princess for the brief day that they showed Revenge of Diaboromon on Disney XD or Jetix. Yeah. That was the one day Mimi got to be a Disney princess, and she sure acted like it.
She's a princess to me.
God, I forgot how much that channel has changed names, because it was Toon Disney, then it was Jetix, then it was Disney XD, I think.
Yep. It's still Disney XD right now. I don't know if there was anything in between that, but...
So moving on. Hey, look, it's Try! No one saw this coming. Cough. And so Blu-ray and DVD boxes in February. The funny part was when the news initially came out, people were using it as proof that Try had not sold well.
What? Why?
Okay, the logic goes as this was that we weren't sure if it was going to be new disc labels or not. So if it was the old disc labels, it theoretically could have been discs they already printed, as in unsold stock. Now, that's not necessarily wrong. It certainly happened before, but we had seen sales numbers for Try, and these are actually new. The disc content is the same. The labels are different, so these are new discs made just for this. Now
I am disappointed they aren't having any new content. Like I think a commentary track or something would be really nice.
Well, here's the thing: we know they had a few of them. It would have been nice if we don't know if they were recorded. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Now the packaging is interesting to me. So the outer box is Taichi Yamato and Omegamon from Part 1, but with the Part 6 color.
Mm-hmm.
The inner box uses the early train car art and the second Try Part 6 poster.
Yeah.
And the booklet uses the early artwork of Taichi and Agumon in the field.
That was nice.
Now, do you think there's art on the other side of the outer box?
It could be the same art.
It could be unless my guess, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the original movie 6 art.
See,
if they're using the movie 6 color.
That's what I was thinking, but then I started thinking, I almost wonder if Alphamon makes sense.
Oh yeah, or Alphamon.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
Then the other question is on the flip side of the Digipack, will there be art there?
Oh, I would say so.
Yeah, that could be.
It would have something.
They could do. There's a few possibilities there. They could. Yeah.
Yeah. So the
I would really. I want them to do the What's the puzzle that they had? But they had the original Try promotional trolley card.
Yeah, the adventure.
And then they had them from the adventure. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I really like that art. I don't know why we haven't seen much of that art.
Yeah.
It looks like fan art, but it's official. It's great.
So the discs are the same. The booklet appears like it will be new. They're not really commenting much on the booklet. Then there'll be some sort of Amazon bonus again, which that should tell us how happy Amazon is with the sales that they're doing it yet
But
again.
they're just getting rid of extra stock, Mark, remember? It sold really, it did really badly. So did Appmon. Appmon and Try both did really badly, remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I knew I forgot something about Cyber Sleuth that was worth bringing up quickly.
That it sold horribly and everyone's disappointed with it and they're just trying to unload the stock by having digital downloads.
In short, yes, but in longer, remember how a bunch of people's proof that Appmon did badly was the game did badly, so nothing else mattered?
Mm-hmm.
It in Japan it sold worse than the Appmon game.
Huh.
Which game did Cyber Sleuth?
Yes. The
Switch. That's funny. I didn't know that. That's funny.
That actually surprises me.
The Switch version
funny.
was like it sold quite a bit. It sold quite a bit less than the Appmon game, in fact.
The Appmon game's so good.
I knew I'd forgot something with Cyber Sleuth. I was paying too much attention about the news.
Yeah. That is funny.
And it did.
Although it is fair to point out that Japan already had a complete version come out before on other platforms.
Yes.
That is a factor.
No, it did. And in U.S. charts, it didn't chart in any way that was notable that we could see. Anything.
Also, Appmon didn't. Appmon, the 3DS game, didn't chart in American sales because it didn't come out.
Yeah. I believe the most information we had in the U.S. was, I think at one point it was 14th on the Switch digital charts on the Nintendo Store. I don't believe we ever got any further information past that. So back to Try. We don't know what the Amazon exclusive is yet. I don't know what
poster or something, right?
See, that's the thing is it felt like with the posters, it felt like they were going up to like 6 posters, and then they only did 5 because the 6th was the box.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm kind of wondering if there will be a poster this time, or like styled like the others, or if it will just be, but who knows? We really don't. I'm curious to see. The pricing's pretty good overall. Still not as good as buying it in the US or in Australia.
Yeah.
I like the disc art. I feel like something a bit more custom would come on, get Ukiatsuki to do some new art.
That looks weird on a disc label.
Like, I like it when I see it until I zoom in and actually look at them.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, disc 1's fine. Disc 2's kind of weird, going after Mimi's crotch. Disc 3 is mostly fine. Disc 4 has cut off Sora's ass. 5 is
so it's like the opposite of the of that English artwork.
Sora has something to look at.
5 is trying to give Hikari a lobotomy, and 6 has cut off Taichi's arm. So you actually missed the main point of the 6th image, which was reaching for Mako. So moving on from Try, we go to Ukiatsuki art with the Hatsune Miku collaboration shop.
That was almost a segue.
Close enough. So we got the shop dates and locations. The first one closed last week. Second one opens today in Canal City, Hakata, and Fukuoka. So the product details it was like they only did a few things, but they did a ton of styles with all the different art.
Yeah.
The weird multi-layered acrylic panels, which are like 180 each, I kind of want. It's one of those things where every photo I see, I can sit there and go, this doesn't look like it looks right in photos. We get can badges, acrylic keychains, a bunch of different acrylic stands. Just more stuff than we're going to go over, but I will say the most ludicrous stuff for me is like doing 8 of the batteries for the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they must sell well.
Well, they're doing
they're
doing 11 of them total, but 8 of them just by splitting up the 8 pieces of art into separate art covers.
How do I get the Nendoroid Miku Agumon, by the way?
They have not formally shown off the figure yet at all.
Because I need
They've
it.
simply announced that it's coming.
I need it.
Yeah, and then there's
like the little weeb inside me, the weeb 16-year-old that was there many years ago.
I will say the most ludicrous thing here is the bonus postcards. For every 3,000 yen spent, you get one of 11 postcards featuring the collaboration
Jesus.
kit.
Seems about right.
Yeah.
So just buy like a couple of acrylics and you're fine.
Yeah, and then they added the rubber keychains later, which I assume May is going to try to murder people to get these.
No, I don't get the keychains anymore because I had too many of them, and now they just sit in a book.
So you're happy enough just to get the Nendoroid when it shows up?
I just want the Nendoroid. Oh, maybe I'm not sure. I dream it. Was there like a Mimi Miku one?
Yeah.
Okay, that one and that one.
Well, I mean,
for the Mimi shelf.
I mean, there's not gonna be a figure of that, but.
Oh no, I mean like the keychain of it, or the.
Okay.
I can't remember if it was a keychain or a badge. I think it was a keychain.
I think there's both.
I'll check. I'll get both of those, but I don't collect all of them because I have all the other can badges and keychains and everything that they released.
Good luck,
and it's just they're all in a nice little binder, which is great. Like it looks good, but I don't know. I wish there was less.
Yeah. Then in the last issue of V Jump, they clarified the some of the fan participations of basically doing fan arrangements of the Miku version of Butterfly and the music video, and it could end up being on a Miku CD for next year. They'll also be doing an art contest, so we'll be talking about this next year, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the contests seem cool.
And now we get to move on to yet again way too much stuff. So the crowdfunding ended for the memorial story. And it hit the exact yen amount was 38,343,588 yen, which was 383% of the goal.
Wow.
And some people, I think, were worried.
Yes. And
how?
Really? Like, were anyone really worried that they were going to hit this goal? Like, that astonishes me that anyone would be.
And we got to see the CGI model of the Angemon figure, which looks kind of great, to be honest. Like, it's far more dynamic than I thought it was based on the artwork.
Yeah.
Like, because at first I thought it was just, it's him standing there holding his stuff, and then when you see the CGI, the angle they gave us for the CGI was great. To see like what's actually happening here.
It's got a lot of action in it.
Yeah.
I like figures when there's like something going on. They're not just standing there existing.
Yeah.
Like it's actually something happening. Like they're doing a thing or an attack or just looking cool, striking a pose like Omegamon. I don't know.
Yeah. We also got a message from Kenji Watanabe, just general type and mentioning the figure and how the deadline was almost there. And it still feels weird that like as we go on, it feels like we might not actually see this artwork much. Like we thought it was going to show up somewhere else, but that's been proven wrong in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that.
Something with that at some point, maybe later.
And we got more memorial story storyboards, plus the title of the last one. So first up, we have every time I see it, I laugh. Medical student Joe Kiddo.
Mm-hmm.
The little quick sketch of Gomamon I kind of love.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then we have details for the coveted Jogress evolution, which I was laughing as someone was trying to give me an AR shit over that one.
Yeah.
Because the funny part was we both said that we were really sure what it was going to be about, but they seemed to miss why we thought that.
Yeah.
Which is why I was kind of laughing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, props for going a different direction on that.
No, absolutely.
Like, I give them credit.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm not really expecting to see these two Jogress, to be honest.
Oh, hell no.
I want them to, but
maybe in the comical sense of them imagining something. But and then
Maybe a dream sequence.
and the title.
Oh man, yeah.
The title and the storyboard for the last one was the most amazing thing that no one saw coming.
Yes,
The
storyboard especially.
The Shibuya-ish heroic saga of Pumpin' Gatsu.
And
And the storyboard.
I'm so glad.
The storyboard
this
shows
is all sorts of win going on
and
here.
the storyboards is Vimon and Gomon like as hardcore noir detectives having drinks. Vimon has the coat and the hat. Gomon has sunglasses.
And still has the horn exposed, which defeats the whole point of being in disguise.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think they're in disguise.
Yeah, maybe they even aren't even. They're not even bothering with disguise.
I think the idea is they're sitting at a place telling stories.
Yeah. And the Pumpkin Gatsumon would be a little more stylized or something.
Does it feel like in the last year there's been an odd fascination with Pumpkin Gatsu?
I don't think that's just been in the last year.
No, but I mean in the sense of them actually showing up in stuff and theoretically being based around that one episode.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, there was the Try Halloween special that was a few years ago, where one of the first Try Halloween costume artwork had those two in it.
Yeah. But we had the April Fool's thing, which was a setup for the Frontier thing.
Oh yeah.
And now the last memorial story is about them. It just seems amusing to me.
I like it.
It's very amusing.
No, so do I. And then we got what the memorial story was joined up with the new limited base pop-up shop, which is at the new LB pop-up theater. The artwork was a bit of a surprise because I feel like everyone was really expecting it to be the memorial story key art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got new art of Taichi Yamato, Daisuke Ken, Omegamon, and Imperial Dramon fighter mode. The Taichi and Yamato, I want to say, look like they were alternate sketches for the memorial art. Because if you look at the memorial art of them, it's not identical, but it's very close. So I feel like maybe those were alternate sketches they did.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Makes sense.
So the store is going to run November 22nd through January 9th. Bless you.
Yeah.
And it's at the new pop theater at the Shibuya Parko, and the products this time really feel like they kicked it into overdrive.
Yeah.
So we have 8 new Otedama based on the kids, and these all look great.
I'm so mad I have to get these.
Yeah.
Then there's
I have the other ones.
Then there's the adventure style acrylic keychain, which this is all new art. I'm 99% sure.
Yeah, it looks like new art, and it still looks kind of bland to me. Like, these acrylics don't really do much for me. Like, it's new, but it's not new enough for me.
Yeah, and then we have the O2 acrylic keychains, which same style, just that.
Same thing, which is kind of a problem.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like I wish they could do. I hope they end up doing.
Don't worry. We have more keychains to go over. There's more based on the key art this time, which same basic thing. Then we have the pop pattern art, which holy hell does this look good.
This is nice.
Yeah. It's like it's like super cartoony, sort of like God, I can't remember this. Do you guys remember Tiny Titans?
Oh yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
It was a Teen Titans book that was designed basically for everyone, but the art style was really, really cartoony.
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of looks like the adults you might see in it. But like everyone is like really emoting. It looks great.
It's very like Puffy Ami Yumi type.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, those are great. What is not great are the stick keychains.
Oh, yeah.
The stick keychains are not only lazy, they're double dipping. You have 2 of each with the same art, it's just different backing. And then they do it again with the tag type keychains, which again, same art, it's quadruple dipping. I will say the artwork looks much better on the can badges, I feel like, though.
Yes.
Because you have the backing.
Badges, I like them. Yeah.
Because you have
the backing, I don't mind the can badges.
Yeah, it makes more sense than the acrylics. Then we get the clear file with the key art and the pop pattern art. The pop pattern art looks great here.
Yep.
I'm-
I have enough clear files already, but I could get this one.
the travel stickers are stupid, and I love them.
I love
I
them
know
so much.
that's so
They're
much
the
fun.
best.
Yeah.
I probably will try to get these. Like they're just so
Yeah.
cool.
And
Rocks falling sign with Gatsumon. Like
and I
Fragile, but it's a digi egg.
I feel
Mhm.
like the one that is going to have a lot of people trying to import them are the pop pattern die cut stickers.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know why, but every single one of these I just love.
Mhm.
One,
I love the style.
I feel like I will say the weird thing is they have Sora emoting so much more than she normally does in artwork.
Except when
Right?
she's presenting.
Yeah.
This
But-
is
but-
this is Adventure Sora when she emoted more.
Yeah.
I will say one of my favorite things is Tentomon just looking at the person.
Yeah.
Like they have
Koshiro too, in a way, yeah.
It looks like he's seen something questionable on Koshiro's laptop and Koshiro's upset about it.
yeah, it just
You know,
looks
like,
great.
Koshiro and Tentomon just looking at you and go,
But
what are
Tentomon
you doing here?
But Tentomon especially because there's no emoting on the face.
Well, yeah, just that
Yeah.
frontal,
Yeah.
that
Oh,
view from the front.
I've always said that Tentomon is surprisingly emotive, considering
Yeah.
he has like no way of emoting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I still
Absolutely.
think
You got Mimi doing the Batu.
yeah, and
Yeah, and
Palmon
I
trying
love
to
them.
do the Batusi.
Yeah, and
I still think
Hikari gets the fingers.
Yeah,
still-
she's giving us fingers.
I still think the most amusing thing to me out of these is Sora, just because she so often isn't emoting in this type
Yeah.
of artwork.
Mm.
This is why I'm happy for the return of Adventure
Yeah.
Sora.
Then we have
Yeah.
Sora and Tri Sora were just not expressive.
then we have the acrylic towers, which are dioramas, and this is new art also, isn't it? I don't
Yeah,
think we've
it
seen this
seems
before.
pretty new.
Yeah.
Then
I want the Mimi one and the Koshiro one because it's the
Yeah, it's the little
It's-
battery,
yeah.
yeah.
it's in the
Um,
battery.
now this is either amazing, lazy, or both the memorial magnets.
And we see Pumpkinmon and Gutsumon again.
Yep. And then we
I'm
have
going lazy, by the way, on that one.
yeah. The acrylic. Then we have acrylic magnets featuring the pop pattern art. Everything I see
Hell
with the
yeah.
pop pattern art, I like, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's those are the winners.
I want the Mimi magnet. I've decided.
Yeah.
I want to get my Mimi magnet for the fridge.
Then we have fortune slips that come with little figurines.
Oh, these are so like reminiscent
These
of those
are-
the little jewelry box things that came with like the shape of the Digimon toy, and they had like the little metallic thing inside it. I've got a couple.
So
Yeah.
they're doing a little bit of a movie 3 representation.
Yeah, I
in
was just
there.
about to say that it's
There's a little Gumimon in there.
Yep.
they've been doing that with a couple of things, right?
Yeah.
Having random nods to movie 3.
Yeah.
In the
Well,
version.
I
if
think-
it's
I think part of it is it lets them throw in Terriermon related stuff without having to throw in more Tamer stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, maybe, but
Yeah.
like Gummimon? I don't know if Gummimon's quite as much a crowd pleaser as Terriermon is.
Yeah, but people do like him though, especially
Yeah.
since these are all more babyish forms.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the one you'd have to go
Okay.
with. But...
Okay, the next one I think. Okay, the embroidery patches I think are actually great.
Yeah,
Oh,
these
yeah,
are, these are nice.
Yeah.
The Mimi one is my favorite, obviously.
And now we get to
And the
see.
Digimon one.
And now we get to see the laziest thing that the pop pattern art is on, an acrylic clock where they very clearly just printed it on.
Yeah,
Because
it looks like.
I feel like
Yeah.
we've gotten the same clock like 3 or 4 other times.
Yeah,
the
I mean,
font,
like
the
it
font
looks
of the
like people
numbers
could
is
get a
cool.
Yes, it
Redbubble or
is.
something, those sort of things.
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, really.
I do have to say, I love the cushions.
Oh, I love the cushions.
Where it's face cushions and you fold it inside out to get a neck cushion with the egg theme. And now we get to talk about the greatest, laziest thing they ever did, popcorn in mason jars.
I don't know how they made Digimon popcorn. Like, what is
They
it made
made
out of?
popcorn and put a Digimon label on it.
It's just
That's how they
it's just
did it.
caramel corn and chocolate popcorn thrown in a mason jar with an Agumon or a Gabumon label. And
Jeez.
the word
That's,
Digi
it's
there
so
twice.
unfitting though. They could have chosen like Digimon that fit that a little bit better. I'm sure.
I'm sure they could have, but it wouldn't sell as good if it had
Make them
Agumon or
pumpkin
Gabumon.
flavor. Oh, that's
No.
fair. I mean, it's popcorn. It'll sell. Like people
Yeah.
like food.
Yeah, but do people like popcorn enough to pay 800 yen for what looks like a relatively small jar of it?
I paid 800 yen for an apple juice at the escape room in Japan.
Yeah, but you have bad judgment though.
Popcorn is better value than
Here's the
apple
thing, Mark.
juice.
You can once the popcorn's gone, you can replace it. You can wash the jar out and put something else
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah, I know.
It was just a plastic cup they gave me the apple juice in.
I've made chocolate
Really?
popcorn. It doesn't cost $5 to make even a giant thing of it.
No.
Yeah, but I got it for the coaster.
Yeah. So then we have the character masking tape. We have the pop parrot. I want to say the crest one. We've seen this exact tape before, haven't we?
We have to have.
Or if it's not exact, it's close enough.
Yeah.
Oh no, we've had that tape. I remember I bought something from, I think it was Chris, during a pickup a couple of years ago, and I'm pretty sure that tape was actually on the box. So,
and then we get the Holy Ring returns yet again.
Yeah.
And then we get more Otadama. I like how they they didn't even take new pictures of them. They just threw up the old pictures and said, "These are the ones that will be included."
I mean, you may as well, right?
Yeah. And then they're throwing in the cup and bucket.
Sure.
And then we shall move on to that. We got our first screenshots of Memorial Short, and it looks nice.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why people are saying that first one's a background. I thought it was someone's in a phone call.
In fact,
I was telling me about this.
Yeah, I was
telling.
Yes.
Wallpaper.
People keep going, I don't understand why Mimi has a photo of herself as her phone background. It's like, does no one use...
Okay, hold on. First off, that's a dumb question.
Would.
Of course Mimi would have a photo of herself.
Yes, but like, come on, people, you have fucking phones. It's
FaceTime.
Yeah, there are very few phones that cannot make video calls now. It looks
what I appreciate is that this is Mimi's doesn't look like she's on a phone here. She looks like she's in front of a laptop.
Yeah, but if you can do a Skype call or
oh no, you can. You can absolutely do that. I just like that pointing out that it's like, Mimi looking.
I like the fact
Mimi
that she's clearly got more than two monitors. Or
this is a weird thing.
There. What's in the middle?
Right? Mimi is
high tech.
Mimi is high tech. I honestly love
high tech Mimi.
I love it when any of the kids other than Koshiro use computers. It's a weird thing for me.
Like, little kid me popped when they had fucking Miyako actually touch a computer.
Miyako
in that episode where she did the audio mixing.
Yeah, that was good, but I mean, not necessarily 02, like Adventure Kid 02.
Yeah,
I'm good with that, but
Taichi hit
with Adventure, with Taichi or Sora or any of them using computers is just I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
Now, the interesting thing that I haven't seen people bring up is we're actually seeing Sora in the outfit she had in the original artwork.
Yeah.
And she
still has long hair now? Like, is it tied up? It looks like she's got like tiny pigtails or something.
It looks more like what she had at the end of Try, but maybe tied up a bit. So these are going to be showing there, although they're only commenting on the first one for now. There will be some free screenings, which is nice. And in theory, this is the one that they are going to stream. So we'll see. I like both screenshots. I would like to see more. I would also like to know when they will stream it with subtitles, and hopefully they will dub it.
Yeah, just show us the movie already. Or just show us the shorts already.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see there. This one feels like... I need to check the dates of some of the others, because this one feels like it's running for a long time, but I think it's roughly the same that most of them have been. Because it's basically a month and a half. So we'll see.
Oh, that does feel longer. A little bit.
I feel like most of them have been about that much, but I could be wrong. It just feels... I feel like it probably feels long because it's while the year crosses over.
Yeah, and it's also... It does that. It's also, this is the one we keep seeing stuff from.
Yeah, we've heard about this one going back to like July.
Yeah.
So
we haven't really heard much about like the other ones.
Now
we've seen little bits.
Now, interesting thing. Do you think the reason that this one is ending early January is because late February we're getting a Kizuna one? And they're specifically cutting this one off early enough so it feels like time will have passed.
Yeah, I feel like.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I
mean, it depends.
some of this
For
will be
me, it
looks-
depends on what in the other that how tied they are to Kizuna.
Well, because remember, with the try ones, generally they would open up the day of or the day before. Like, it was really tied
you mean
into
the
it.
shop? You mean the shop in general?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that will be interesting to
Yeah,
see.
that there's gonna be one more before Kizuna comes out.
Yeah. And yet another collaboration. Last Evolution, Kizuna items will be showing up in the Idolmaster Cinderella Girl Starlight stage. Cover songs will be in
still
the game.
going?
Huh? Oh,
Is
yeah.
Idolmaster like still going?
Still going and apparently still quite popular.
Cool.
So cover songs will be in the game, and there'll be items for your room in it that you can get. More details will be coming later. Not much to say beyond that until they show us stuff.
Yeah, it's not completely unprecedented. I'm pretty sure. Isn't Butterfly in Bang Dream? It looks like it from the.
Yeah, it
previews.
is, but it feels like different from it just showing up than it being like the big, hey, it's a collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not the first time we've seen Digimon music in an
absolutely
mobile game, so.
And then
just to clarify.
And then we have some Last Evolution Kizuna stuff to actually talk about. So the English website opened up, which nothing super exciting there.
Well, nothing super exciting if you've already read the translation.
Yeah.
A lot of people who, once the English site opened, suddenly latched onto the character descriptions and going, "Oh my God, Ken's doing this or Sora's doing that or whatever."
And it's like
I saw a lot of
that. That will happen for everything, and this is where this is where me and May both being moderators at a Reddit comes up. People will notice stuff years later.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff that theoretically should be super obvious. Like,
but at the same time,
people, a lot of people will show up having no fucking clue there's a dub of Try or that Try has even come out.
Sure.
Go ahead, AR.
But at the same time, it's like having this. At the same time, having this English website, that's just a little bit more accessibility. And
absolutely,
we appreciate that.
And Toei,
it gets more people to notice what's going on.
And Toei USA put up their little thing for the movie, showing it as 94 minutes, which their times have sort of skewed off and on. So we'll see.
Seems like a good length of a movie, though.
I think that's a fine length for a movie like that.
90 minutes is like that. That's a good length. I feel like I get my money's worth, but also it's not like a 3-hour movie. Which
I've heard a lot of people
like 3-hour movies.
I hear a lot of people saying it's too short, but I don't agree with that at all.
For some reason, and I think we brought this up before when we found out for sure it was a movie. A lot of people seem to think we were going to get a 2 or 3 hour epic, and I think we've all kind of gone.
Yeah,
that's not really the franchise, to be honest.
This is going to be a nice, simple 90-minute movie. Like anyone who's worried about not having enough to spend on all 12 kids, we kind of knew that was going to be a thing already. So if you're worrying about that now, I'm like, that joined the club. Like that's not, this movie's not going to be that.
So what you're saying is it's almost like if you want to have a more direct focus, you have to find some way to get characters off the table.
Yeah. Almost
so
like
killing the 02 kids.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I think that would be a great way for Kizuna to start. After this clip, going to do investigation for.
Well, I mean, and the funny part is like, even that was the thing, it was never about if we liked or disliked the 02 kid show up. It's that there wasn't really gonna be room to do them properly, so it was just don't do them.
Yeah.
So we'll see what comes up here.
I mean,
knowing that this movie was, that they were kind of having ideas for this movie already as Try was ending, it explains a lot of what was going on with the 02 kids.
Yeah.
I will say. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, May.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was the only bit of 02 kids that we got.
I feel like there'll be a bit more, but I will say the number of people who aren't paying attention, who think this is a 02 sequel. Oh man, they're gonna get a surprise, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're gonna hate this.
I'm sorry to say.
I mean, you guys have seen that on Twitter, right? The number of people who honestly think this is a 02 sequel.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yes, I have, but I don't know how they get that impression.
I think that they need to click a little bit more into the pop-up shop art and realize that those pop patterns that we all love so much only had 8 kids in it.
Which
Yeah.
is sad because I would have really liked to see a Miyako one.
Absolutely, and the fact that they didn't have the 02 kids in those kind of tells you something.
Yes.
Mm,
It says that they know who people are going to be buying.
yeah.
Although to be
like,
fair,
it's-
although the O2 stuff has generally been the second best seller, which is why
yeah,
they're
I mean, and
included.
I think like I would definitely not begrudge them for favoring the 02 kids in this movie.
Mm.
At the same time, part of me is also like, I also don't want this to be yet another movie where Joe, Mimi, and Sora don't play an active role.
I would just like a movie that's just Joe, Mimi, and Sora.
Well, that's what the shorts are for.
Okay, let's talk
But
about.
I mean, I want an entire movie that's just like this is Mimi kicking some ass and throwing poo at people. Like that'd be the best.
Let's talk about
Sure.
the actual clip now. This is the clip from Digifest.
Mm.
We get the new voices all work shockingly well, like really well.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's starting with Vemon riding Armadimon
Yeah,
is
that
one of
was-
my favorite.
yeah,
Like
that is the best. That's great.
Yeah.
It is the best, yeah.
the voices all work well for me, and it feels like they all fit in well with the tri voices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like the best is probably Miyako, to be honest.
Yeah.
Miyako's the best in general, so
Yeah. But all joking aside, it feels like the voice has the energy you need for that character.
I like that they do talk about having that they're there for a reason, and that it was reason tied to their other characters, so that they're not on this island on their own. That they're there for a reason. That Yamato told them to do something.
So what you're saying is they went off on an adventure for some reason, and the other kids know where they are.
Yeah, that the other kids know what they are this time would be the improvement.
So if they don't talk about them at all, that's perfectly fine because they know where they are. But yeah, voices are good. It's amazing how little Iori and Ken do, and how that seems exactly what we expected, doesn't it?
yeah. Seems
yeah.
fine. Seems accurate.
Ken is just as bland and boring as always.
It's just funny how much that fit into what we expected, though. It really is shocking.
Is. Yeah. Miyako has personality.
No one else does except Daisuke a bit.
Does. Yeah, Daisuke kind of.
Daisuke, I expect more personality from Daisuke. Miyako had exactly what I expect from Miyako.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Ken
just
and
so
Iori
happy
have
that
lines.
she's doing the same course that I did, and it's just I'm just so happy for her. I'm just happy that she exists. I'm thankful.
It's cool that that's a pretty good depiction of Columbia University too.
Yeah. To the point that you even had people grabbing photos, and it was just shot for shot perfect.
Mm. Well, they do tend to do that.
They do that a lot, especially
Yeah.
in adventure. Yeah.
I mean, even the video games as well. Like Nakano Broadway, when I first went there, I knew my way around because of a video game.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I got lost in the game, so I wouldn't get lost in real life. It was weird.
Shall we move on to the many, many questions and whatever
we're
we
finally
get
done
asked
with the
in the
news.
That's actually pretty good that we're already done with the news.
So moving on to questions. So the first one was, we have a nice stack of anonymous questions. Way too early serious or non-serious predictions or hot takes for the next big Digimon animation / video game projects that haven't been announced yet after Last Evolution Survive. So let's go ahead and skip anything to do with the next story since we know that's coming.
Yeah.
Next animation, I feel like it one of two things. I feel like it either needs to be something new, or if they really are going to hedge their bets, it will be something new starring the kids of the adventure characters.
I think it's too early for that.
I kind of want that. I
kind of want it.
But what I mean,
Tamers was that.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not saying that's what I want. I'm saying it works as it could work as an easy hedge where you can have the adventure characters there, but you can also do whatever you want with younger characters.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's my preference. Yeah.
I want new characters, new story, new world, new everything.
Yeah, give me a new world.
Like Appmon was great. People say, "Hey May, don't you want an Appmon season 2?" And I'm like, "No, I don't."
What? See here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, damn! That's the question. I just remembered there was a question that someone had asked me like person to person, and I'd forgotten to write it down, and May just reminded me what it was, so I'm typing it up while I can remember it,
Yep.
so that I can add it to the end.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah. I don't. Part of me does want like an adventure epilogue movie that's like with the new kids, but that's too many characters, too many kids. I don't think it's going to happen.
I think you need something in between that to get. You need to get off of adventure just for.
We need something new. We need new blood.
We need
I want
something
a new story.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if I wouldn't mind if the new story was a little more leaning into Cyber Sleuth a little bit more, but it still has to be new though. Like along the same mood. I would say.
I will always want a V-Tamer anime. I will always want maybe just a movie of the Wonder Swan games. I don't think that either of those going to happen. I just want something new. That'd be good.
May, regarding Wonder Swan games, ask me half a year from now. Well, no, because
I've argued with a lot of people who think the new Chronicle plot would make a good movie, and then I just have to point them to X Evolution and see. No, they tried that; it was bad.
Keep X antibodies away from the anime, please.
Well, here's the thing with the Wonder Swan games, as where they stand now. With Analog releasing their portable system, I actually think that might be a new, easy way to play those games and have them look really nice.
I enjoy playing them on the Wonder Swan. I just don't like the fact it doesn't have a backlight.
Well, that's why the Analog system is going to have a backlight. It's going to be a nice, good quality screen. I think that could be a great way to play those games if they throw in Wonder Swan support, which they've sort of hinted at.
And also, they would have to have the games available.
Those aren't that hard to track down, to be honest. I mean,
that would support the cartridges. It wouldn't just be a digital one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay then. Okay.
Like here's the thing. Like I have their version of the Genesis. I have a cartridge adapter for Master System games, and they're making cartridge adapters for other systems for it also. And they
that'd be great. Yeah.
I'll buy one of them. Like their Game Boy Advance, they've already said it will support Neo Geo Pocket. That's a completely different cartridge. So and they've kind of hinted at more systems, and all that's really left is the Wonder Swan. So that'd be neat, and I capture 1080p footage of the games and put them up in that case.
I'm playing through the Wonder Swan games at the moment, and I would definitely like to play that with the backlight.
I'd like to play them and have them be good games, but that's not going to happen.
I mean, they're not good games. You're never going to have them.
You're never going to
unless they completely remake it. I mean, they're not terrible, but I'm enjoying
Rio's
them because
in them. Yeah, that's
so Rio's in them. It is the same quality as Rio.
Yeah.
So the next
it's already tanked.
So the next question was a plot question. If we had the role of homeostasis and had to bring in a group of Digidestin / Tamer / whatever to save a version of the digital world, what season's cast would we trust the most to get done?
Savers.
Adventure or O2.
Adventure.
Only Adventure or O2?
Wait, what?
I said Adventure or O2.
I would say any season.
Yeah.
Savers. They're adults.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're adults who fuck up more than the kids.
Yeah, but Masaru at the end. Okay, the end of Savers, when he's slightly older and punches things more.
Great. So he's the same. He's the same character he was as a teenager.
Yeah, but he's taller.
Yeah, exactly.
They'd get the job done, and it would be fun to watch because they're gonna have fireworks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would go with Adventure too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want efficiency, you just bring Taiki in, but what's the fun in that?
Taiki's so good. I love Taiki. He deserves so much better than that shit season.
Okay. The next question.
He was so good. He was still useful in Young Hunters. That's how good he was.
Okay. The next question is: what are your favorite parts about ReArise after playing it? Story.
The story is surprising.
Yeah, the story.
Like without the story, it is a relatively bland game, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, it's still fine. I'd still play it without the story because hell, I played Lynx.
We like Digimon, and I like pursuing new Digimon.
And now the most fantastic question ever, because
oh my god, this one.
Why does May swear so much?
When you sent me this, I laughed like loudly. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
I didn't see these. I didn't see these before. I didn't hit refresh. There's only like 3 questions.
Okay. When we get questions that are aimed specifically at us, I tend to send it at whoever it was to make sure they don't have an issue with it being there.
Oh.
I remember the exact answer I gave May to this. From my perspective, it's AR's is a schoolboy.
AR's a saint.
He's a saint. I curse so much
Aw.
and so casually that most people don't notice. May curses loudly and for emphasis, so it's noticeable.
Because like, is there any other way to like? It's meant to be emphasis because otherwise, like,
No, but
I
that's
need to
what
show
but that's
how
what
much
I
I
mean.
fucking care about something.
No, but that's what I mean. I curse as a matter of course in talking, so most people don't notice it. May will sit there
Yeah.
and just go, dicks.
Yeah, because
I
I just
I
like saying
pick
the
my
word dicks.
spots.
Yeah.
What I always say is I pick my spots. So when I
Exactly.
swear, it's for like it has a little bit more emphasis. It's just that little bit of a flavor to.
Now, the only thing me and May hadn't decided was this a real question or was this a troll question?
I mean, didn't you get someone saying why did like you talk like May talks about butts too much or something, or tits and butts or something when we're talking about
No,
Omnimon? Like,
no,
fuck, it's not just me.
I think it was someone complaining about me talking about tits and
Oh
butts
really? Oh, I
when
thought
it was
Yeah.
you, when it was you talking about them. Like they only remembered
yeah,
me
yeah,
doing it.
yeah, that's right. It was the other way around. Because
Yeah.
yeah, I'm the one who bring it
yeah.
up. I
It's not like
always bring
it's
up
not
my
like
butts.
May talked about butts at all this episode.
Yeah.
It was Sora was presenting. It's not my fault, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. Someone wanted to know updates on our thoughts on if Digivolving Spirits is done. Now here's the thing: ignoring the War
Oh.
Greymon figure because that figure exists.
Yeah.
I would say if we don't have something by the end of this year or right around when Kizuna comes out news-wise, then it's done.
Yeah.
I'm
I
sad. We had I mean, I know we've had prototypes of things before, like that sick ass Diaboromon, but like,
See,
I
here's the thing: the displays are still showing up at toy shows,
yeah,
Mhm.
and I think a movie coming out with, in theory, the ones they were gonna rush out originally has kind of thrown them
yeah.
off. If
Yeah.
we
I
don't,
mean, we haven't had one for what, 6 months?
yes, I would say if we don't
Yeah.
have news right before Kizuna comes out, then it's done.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Like, if we wait till
Like
Kizuna.
the thing is it could be done already, but because we have a movie coming out with, they could throw out 3 of them and brand them as
Yeah,
movie
you could.
code badges.
Yeah, you could do Piomon and Palmon and
Goemon
Pseudomon was
and have them
Goemon was
Kizuna
the
branded.
next one, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to judge that for me because it's an odd time for like this year has been very low on products because they have stuff coming out.
Yeah. I mean, did I dream it, or was there meant to be a Dukemon one as well?
They showed Dukemon
Oh yeah.
very
Yeah.
early, and he was in the original teaser for Patamon being the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I believe they showed it was a silhouette of Patamon, Tentomon, and Gilmon.
Yeah.
So
I just want a Palmon one. Yeah, I feel like we saw a Piomon one though. Like
we
recently,
did. Oh no, like around March, we got an updated version of the prototype we saw last year, and it looked great.
Yeah, I'm maybe I'm just hopeful here, but I think they're waiting for Kizuna.
Yeah, if by the time Kizuna's out, we don't have at least news, I would say that's the time when stick a fork in it, it's done.
Like survive.
Yeah, like here's
Cancelled.
the thing. No, but like here's the thing. It could be done now, but because we have a movie coming out in 3 months, anything that could have been planned for this year could have been shoved back to take advantage of other things. So it makes it hard to fairly gauge that.
I just don't want them to cancel it because it's like my favorite line, except for also the Gacha things. Which am I going crazy, or have we not had a Gacha release for a while? The small Digimon ones.
See, that's the same situation where they could be done, or they could be holding stuff off until closer to the movie.
Or they're just waiting for the X3 to come out, and they're going to start doing the X antibody ones.
We all have dreams, May.
I don't know how they'd work. They're too fucking like pointy and things are happening.
I feel
they're
like
all gonna be like $50 each.
They'd crack them. Yeah, they came in.
Okay. The next question I got like while I was asleep, and it was there when I woke up, I think, or I added it right before I went to sleep. Someone asked, "Can we explain the way Kakuto sees continuity for adventure? When people explain it, it seems confusing." It is because he's
Short
answer
is no.
Okay, he's very.
You can't explain
it. He actually has sort of explained it. He's very. It's effectively anything he worked on counts. Anything else did not. So effectively, it is the show revised by the books, and But that also creates some odd holes if you went with a quote-unquote Kakudo canon, because
Yeah.
Omegamon showed up and Miyako saw Omegamon. But we don't know how Omegamon showed up if you were to follow his exact way of doing it, because he said the movie doesn't count for as far as he's concerned.
Yeah.
Like we've seen him argue with people about things in the movie. Him going, well, that's not in the show, and it's like.
But also, that's how. But Ken also saw the War Game battle.
But not in the show.
Yeah, not in the show. But he was in the show. Ryo was in the show.
But even
Ryo was in the show, yeah.
But even the
Yeah,
Rio's
for like a second.
but even the Rio stuff doesn't quite line up with the games exactly. So
No.
it effectively is the same where we go, this may not have happened, but something it's less complicated than
Something
Tenchi.
along
Let's just go with
those
that. So if you believe there is a Kakudo canon, it effectively goes like this. The first movie happened, but not quite as we saw it. Adventure happens, but with some alterations based on the book. Like I believe Takaru never gets his crest; he just gets the ability later. He never gets the physical tagging crest, I think. Movie 2 does not happen, but Miyako does see them with Omegamon battling someone. But it had nothing to do with Sora's birthday and so forth, and that's weird. And then 02 happens, and something like the games happens.
But 02 does, I thought, mention Omegamon.
It does.
And I thought
it
mentioned Diaboromon as well.
It kind of doesn't. It sort of mentions Omegamon. Miyako mentions seeing it, and they sort of gloss over what it was, as I recall, anyways. I believe the dub does specifically mention Diaboromon, but I think in the Japanese,
the dub mentions Willis.
Yeah, the dub specifically does mention stuff from
the dub. It's just those 3 times. Yes.
Yeah. Like here's the thing: if you go to Kakudo's website, there actually is a page. There's a page for every episode, and if you find the page about the Magnamon episode, it actually does specifically well, it does show up in a movie, but we don't care about that. Like
that actually, I think, is the best explanation for Kakudo's con.
Yeah,
like it was part of a movie, but we don't care about that.
Okay. Then next up, since Thanksgiving was coming up, someone wanted to know, what are we thankful for regarding Digimon and or the podcast?
I made a lot of friends because of Digimon.
Yeah.
Like people I wouldn't have met otherwise.
Probably the same with me.
There were 2 listeners of my podcast who now live together and wouldn't have met if it wasn't for the podcast, which I wouldn't have made if it wasn't for Digimon.
Oh, that's neat.
That's cool. So yeah, definitely like the people I've met and the friends I've made, you guys.
One thing I like is we all have very, very strong and different opinions, and we don't actually really argue about it.
Yeah, that's
like even when we're arguing, we're actually talking and exchanging ideas and not just yelling at each other.
Yeah, like in general.
But when we agree, we yell at each other because that's excited agreeing.
No, exactly.
We want to agree. I want to agree more.
Yeah, it's fun to, but like the joke is when people are fighting, they say they're debating. We actually are debating when we do it. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, and again, it's nice to I've met people in real life through this, and it's really cool. That's been a big one of my wife's best friends actually came from knowing me through Digimon Twitter.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's neat.
And we actually stayed with them last time we went on vacation to the East Coast.
Oh, that's nice.
But yeah, it's I think this is actually a solid fandom. Like I know this might be because I'm not on Reddit, but. To be
fair,
cool fandom.
To be fair, I did show you a specific tweet earlier.
Yeah, well, that
Yeah.
You did. There's of course there's your idiots, but I think for the most part we're pretty cool. I think we all understand that even if we don't like a particular season or a particular character, that we can still kind of put that aside and go, yay, Digimon.
Well, and that is for example, no one's going to be shocked when I say I don't like Sabers.
Yeah, and no one will be shocked when AR and I both mean, I'm pretty sure I like Savers, but I like Savers.
I
What
like
I
Savers.
what I mean is like
well,
we all talk about it fully when we're able to for the show or on the site. It's not like I'm only posting Tri news, for example. If I can
Mhm.
find relevant news, I post it. Like when we got the Savers Agumon statue, wasn't that good?
That was great.
yeah.
Yeah. So we're thankful that we're not assholes, basically.
Yeah.
Well, we're kind of assholes, but in the
Oh
good
no,
way.
we are, but
Yeah.
we're cool about it.
Okay. The next question was make May answer the imported media question she wasn't around for last time. I wasn't the person who asked last time. So I should explain. May someone had asked me and AR what was the last piece of media we imported that was not Digimon based, but was movies, music, games, so forth.
I don't know.
Okay, while you think, let me and AR reiterate what we said. I had said a Red Dwarf Blu-ray box. I don't remember what AR said, to be
I
honest.
think I said that, to be honest, I think the last thing I imported was a DVD from the Australian band Tripod.
Oh, I like Tripod.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I imported Tripod versus the Dragon.
Yeah. So any idea what it is for you, May?
I just got Pokemon X and Omega Ruby in Japanese. Does that count?
I'd say that counts.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I don't buy much stuff because I'm trying to save money, and also it's Christmas, so I haven't bought stuff lately because Christmas.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's more stuff I just don't remember.
There has been an odd twist in the Red Dwarf Blu-ray since last time, though.
Oh yes. Yes.
I because of a sale, I actually got a new TV stand and everything. And when I was playing with the equipment, I wanted to see what would happen if I put the red, because I got a new Region A disc player, and I was like, it's Region B. I want to see what happens. The discs, turns out, are marked Region A also, and my TV can do PAL.
Oh. I thought you were going to say that there's more Red Dwarf coming.
Oh no, there is also. They're doing they're doing a TV movie. They're doing a special and everything.
Everything's coming back.
It is.
To be fair,
Red Dwarf.
To be fair,
Red Dwarf keeps coming back.
Yeah, the thing with Red Dwarf is you see it and then it's gone, and then if you like fall into a coma for a bit, it will be back. But yeah, so and that's kind of a fake segue into the next question, which was, Mark has been talking about HDR a lot lately. Can that be used to make Digimon look better? It could, but it's not going to.
And also, you still have the general animation flaws from.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It's basically redoing the way lighting will work on brightness on a TV. No, one, you're not going to get much in the way of old TV shows being redone for HDR simply because you can, but I don't think it's worth the effort for Digimon sales-wise.
Yeah.
And in the case of the movies, most of the movies, if you look at the Blu-rays, they're okay, not great. Now, here's the thing. I think you could easily redo Tri, and Tri would have been the obvious one to do, except if they were going to do it in a 4K HDR disc, it would have been for February. Now, the new movie could be released that way, but it's one of those things where the especially hard thing is it's hard to show people if they don't have the TV because it does not come through in screenshots at all. In fact, anytime I've taken a 4K screenshot to show someone, I actually have to make sure the HDR is stripped out and tone mapped to SDR properly, or else it doesn't even look correct. So it's not even the type of thing where you can show someone as an example easily. So it could, but it's not going to. And before we go to the last prepared question, let's see what people are asking in the chat. So let me see here. Someone wants to know what website to use for re-release product. Look at CD Japan or Amy. Amy are generally your best bets. I think that
I use From Japan, like as well. Like sometimes they pop up
from
on Japan.
But From Japan would normally be via intermediaries, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I know, but you can search it from the From Japan website. It basically just pulls it from Amazon, and you buy it from like Amazon Japan or Automart or Surugaya or any of those. So I just buy it. I don't really use it as I just basically use it as an interface to buy the thing, or I have or I buy it from those sites directly and send it to my Japanese address.
Okay, that makes sense.
But from Japan is easier because it delivers directly to me.
And since AR brought it up in the chat, I should bring it up here. When we say Kakudo canon, we don't mean like what counts for adventure. We mean what counts as far as Kakudo is concerned. It's sort of like, and it's part of why we don't get into Tenchi canon. Based on which writer you follow from Tenchi, things branch in different ways with the same media.
I was gonna say we don't get an attention canon because we're not a podcast.
That's never stopped you guys before. I'm pretty sure an episode ago you guys talked about Persona for like 15 minutes.
That was this episode. It was just it's been so long.
No, I
like
think it happened an episode or two ago also.
Oh yeah, no, it happens every so often because Persona's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also almost a little bit like Digimon in a way.
Okay.
More than
the same artist,
more than
I
a little
think.
bit. Especially if you watch the dub of Persona. The dub of Persona 3 is like all Digimon actors, so it's
really
great.
Yeah.
I should watch it.
Okay, and
well,
then,
I don't know, not the series, the game itself, though.
Okay, and then another chat question. Regardless of whether or not it's using Kizuna, do you think we'll get a new version of Bokura no Digital World with the Kizuna cast?
I hope not. That song makes me cry.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I sort of feel like logically it makes sense, but I'm not sure it makes sense as far as like a franchise chant. Butterfly has sort of become that over the last few years.
But the thing is, I would consider Bokura and the Digital World as being this is the last movie, no more adventure. I don't think Kizuna's the last bit we're going to see of the Adventure Kids.
Oh, hell no.
They had it in 02 because it was the last one. That's why they're thanking us.
The other thing I would point out is there's fewer opportunities to make new versions of songs because there's just this one movie. Like the thing about Try is when you have 6 different movies, each of those presented an opportunity to create a new song. So you were able to do 4 or 5 songs, 6 different versions. Here you've really only got the chance to do maybe a new Braveheart or maybe a new one of the 02 songs. Like you could do Beat Hit again. Not necessarily a lot of chance to do every song. Like you couldn't do both of the 02 endings, for example.
I mean, they could always do some sort of weird cover out. I mean, they did 2 of those albums during Try.
Those were character songs.
Yeah, I know, but you could always do a cover album instead.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I expect it. I'm just saying it wouldn't shock me if they tried.
They tried.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't that.
It's harder. It's a little. It seems a little less feasible to me, especially if the songs don't actually.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay, we'll let them in the chat room think of more while we go to the last prepared question, which this was from a while ago, and I actually forgot about it. I believe it had been brought up with AR and May before. At first, we thought it was a troll question. We later found out, no, Nico actually did ask this, and we wanted to wait for all 3 of us. Now that we know all 4 of the Adventure 02 girls are in Kizuna and grown up, who has the best boobs?
See, now I wish I had reset the refreshed this so I could have this question in advance. Feels like I need to research.
See, I have an answer.
Okay,
so.
Oh, good. It's a real answer. I thought you were gonna go, oh, it's all of them.
No, it's Daisuke. No, anyway, no. My real answer is
it's Greymon.
I always thought that Mimi's mother was not Japanese. I thought she was English or something. I don't know, but not Japanese. I always thought Mimi was half Japanese. So I think that it would be Mimi because biologically speaking, the Japanese have smaller breasts. Except for, what's her name? Hifumi J-Cup or whatever her name is. But my answer is I think that Mimi is half not Japanese, so maybe Mimi.
The trouble is they're animated. They're drawn inconsistently so much, so it's really hard to.
Okay.
Depending on which research method you're using.
Let's make this easy to bypass AR's thing, using the animation designs from the Adventure website right now.
Okay, let me pull that up here.
I've linked both of you.
Oh,
just so we don't get into debating about art styles and stuff. Since that is what Nico's question was about.
Miyako.
I'd say Sora.
Actually, yeah, no, Sora, what the fuck? I know those aren't boobs. That's like a tumor. She's just got one big tumor that goes from like her collarbone to her
There's
stomach.
Look in the middle. There's a curve. It's Sora. Sora
Yeah,
wins.
it's a curve of a tumor. Like that's.
Yeah, it's Sora. Yeah, if we're
I'm concerned about Sora's well-being.
If we're going up the Kizuna artist,
that's not how tits grow. Tits don't grow out of your belly button.
I think that shirt might.
Yeah, I think that's high. That's a high skirt. That thing belt.
Yeah, well, it's also that I don't think that shirt is like form hugging, so there's a little bit of air in there.
I just don't feel like that's. I don't know. It just looks weird to me.
Okay, so you say me. So I believe you changed your answer to Miyako. So
I think Sora's wearing some like she's wearing either like
okay. So
like top to bottom. If we're going everything consistently, my answer would be Sora.
Yeah,
I do understand Sora. It doesn't. They don't look like titties. They're weird shape.
Okay, so
they don't look like anime titties.
Okay, so attempting to make a chart between the three of us, it effectively goes Sora, Mimi / Miyako, Hikari.
I'd put Mimi consistently above Miyako, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd agree to that.
The trouble, and also, I mean, I think you got to consider Mako in there too, which is another one.
And
I put Mako. I put Mako between Mimi and Miyako.
Yeah. And the fun part about this is I'm 99% sure that Nico was sure I threw her question out, which makes it even funnier.
I like that we're having a serious conversation about this.
I'm pretty sure we could have a serious conversation about almost anything if we really wanted to.
Actually, I came up with my real answer.
What?
Gatomon.
I was gonna say Metal Greymon, but sure.
Oh yeah, Metal Greymon. Yeah, he's got the firing.
See, here's the thing: you can't answer Metal Greymon. We haven't seen him for Kizuna, at least from the front.
I mean,
never mind.
Can we say how dumb it is that we're actually trying to come up with like logic to this shit just for the?
I just
record?
said Agumon, so that shows.
You allowed the question. We're just answering it.
I allowed the question because, one, it's fun. Two, we're marked as mature anyways, and now I had to specifically mark the channel as not for kids because of the COPA thing.
Oh no.
Who would expect the Digimon podcast to be for kids anyway?
Huh? No. I just noticed something on the character site.
What?
I don't think they had the crest borders before, and they have the double borders for the 302 kids like it's supposed to be. I don't think that was there before, was it?
I don't know what I'm looking.
Highlight your mouse over the squares of the kids.
Oh yeah, the colors. Why is Taichi and Daisuke's cut off?
Oh, that's cool.
But that is cool. No, that is cool.
Yeah, where the 302 kids who had double crests are actually show the colors as double.
And Ken is boring gray.
No, Ken's pink.
Ken is pink. Oh.
Kindness.
Oh, yeah.
It's slightly darker than Hikari's.
Oh, you're right. It's like a more muted version of it. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if there are any more questions in there before we call it. If anyone wants to throw any there.
Who would dare follow that up?
And see, and that's why I'm kind of glad AR didn't notice the question, because it might have been revealed early when the question about the person complaining about titties came up.
Oh.
No, that was more butts than titties. We haven't discussed who has the best badonkadonk yet.
To be fair, we don't have Kizuna artwork of the four of them from the back, but
the answer's already Ordinaemon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still remembering from Twitter the other day. May was saying that the model from Pokemon looked exactly like her.
No. You missed my point, because of course it's meant to look like me, because it's a customized character. I'm talking about the fucking face on the police guy.
No, I know, no, but the one before that, when you showed it and it looked like perfectly exactly like you, and my response was find an image of her falling over.
See, that confused me, because I said Uncanny Valley, because I was talking about the weird police officer guy with his face in the battle scene. But I thought you took it as I was saying Uncanny Valley because it looked like me. No, but you missed the fact that the police guy's face is horrifying.
Let's see. Looks like no more questions. So anything else before we call it?
I'm good. My head
No,
hurts.
yeah.
You realize
I'll plug in
you
stuff.
realize we've effectively committed to doing the ass one once we have images of their ass.
Oh no. Why do I talk?
Yeah. So I've got my stuff. I've got my other stuff going on. I've got my story, a new chapter of my story come up. Nexus World go up last night.
Do
So
asses
that's still
appear in it?
Jesus, I think they will now.
This one, I don't think so. Future ones, yes. I've also got and I've also got System Restore going on, reviewing Appmon again. So that's all. Blogging about every single episode of every single series has resumed once again. The project I started in 2011 still not over yet.
Well, the unnamed project that I've been working on since last year with someone else will hopefully be done soon, so I don't throw myself off a bridge trying to get it done. That May and AR both know about, and I really want it to be fucking done. And then once that's done, I will have time to actually get the podcast set up for me and May talking about Star Trek, where May will be forced to watch Star Trek against her will.
Oh no.
Have fun with that.
Sounds terrifying.
Yeah, don't tell them you were willing to do it, May. It's fun. It's funnier if it's a friend forcing a friend to watch something else.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. There was a few questions regarding end of year stuff, but I think we'll get in one more before the new year. So we'll talk about that then.
I hope so. I only have 2 more Saturdays between now and the end of the year, but we'll make one of those work.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Thanks everyone for watching. Subscribe. May, did you say where they could find you, or did we accidentally skip you?
I think I was skipped, but it's fine. I'm pretty forgettable. It's fine.
May can be found in the Galar region.
Yeah, I just play Pokemon now. If you want to see me talking about Pokemon and some people, random people on the internet finding me and deciding that that my opinions are wrong because I'm enjoying this game that they haven't played, and just they're people I don't know. They're strangers. They just obviously searching people mentioning Pokemon on Twitter and telling them they're wrong. Apparently, because that's
enjoy it while you can, because they petitioned the president to ban Sword Shield. So that's all. It was fun while it lasted.
Well, at least I don't have your president.
That's true.
But no, it's a good game. That's what I do
now. It's a pretty good game.
I'm still doing the Lost in Translation podcast at the moment. I'm just reading on Kay's wonderful English translations and doing an audiobook style version of the Digimon adventure novel.
I feel like I kind of want to offer to voice a couple characters if you want.
That'd be cool.
That would be fun.
I did want to do
and I will appear in the audiobook just to interrupt people.
Yeah.
That's what you're good at.
That's fair.
That's what I have to do, because if I don't interrupt, you guys keep going, like we're doing now.
Yeah. Well, I'm just scared I'm gonna get another blood nose. I had my first one last year, and then that one randomly now, earlier, and I'm just scared I'm gonna have another one now because I don't even know what to do.
Right.
Brady had to look after me because I don't typically ever have this. As I said, second in my life, so don't want to have any more. It was scary.
Okay, so May is alive for now.
Alive for now, yes.
We will catch you guys sometime next month. Thanks for showing up. Bye.
See you guys.